Aren't we already late
live.
anyway? The
We
fuck?
live, baby.
No, we're not late.
Right on the money. We could start early. We could start late. They can fucking be happy. What's up, Byron? My man, Soulgasm. Byron. We're gonna build a big, loud ass, break everything build for Byron pretty fucking soon here. Actually, probably gonna as soon as the Raiden, like the day the Raiden leaves to go to SEMA, we're gonna bring Byron's Escalade down and gut it, and Colt and Tyson will start building a cage.
What year's his Escalade?
Byron, what beard? What beard? What year is your Escalade? It's first
one of the big
question.
ones too,
No,
right?
like you're the first person that isn't logged in at the right fucking shit.
At the right location, so we can't see who you are. So you're the first one to do that.
Yeah. We're off to a good.
So
How do I
Skylar,
find the link?
Skylar went on our page and watched it, and he's still a Facebook user. So that probably is not the trick. I just think some people come up as Facebook user. I don't know why.
I would say that it's because they got some weird, creepy shit. They probably used to have a shared account.
I'm pretty sure it's Skylar. Hi.
Hi.
I don't know which he's talking about. Me?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, damn, we're probably
yeah.
Oh, I'm just gonna. It's your show. I'm just gonna assume it's you every time.
Well, when Bobby asked you a question earlier, I thought he was talking to me, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's Duncan's name as well."
F. Allen.
So yeah, Byron's Escalade ESV or whatever the fuck it is I don't know the letters, the three letters. Is it ESV? Am I saying that shit right?
Yeah, it's an ESV.
Big one, right?
It's the suburban size Escalade. It's a 2008.
Oh, yeah.
And we're thinking like 8 or 9 18s.
Go ahead and start welding up the cabin.
You know, I've never owned an 18 in my life.
I had 6 18s in the Green Monster, and then we switched it to 9 15s. And I like the 18s way more.
All of my original.
It was 2 dBs loud, 2 dBs down at peak, but the 6 18s was way more fun.
All of my original loud builds are 18s, and now I haven't had one in 10 years.
Everybody who's like not in audio, when they see my subs, are like, "Oh man, those are some badass looking 12s." I'm like, "No, dude, those aren't 12s.
Nice 12s, bro.
Rounds and make them look like they're so small, you know."
Yeah, because the cone is so much smaller.
Yeah. But it's like, I've always wanted to run 18. I don't know.
So speaking of cones, Drew, when you told me about effective cone area, what the fuck are you talking about?
So you have a 15-inch round sub. If you just go off of whatever, like 7.75 times 7.75 times pi, whatever, to get the area, that's just how big that area of the outside to outside diameter is. The effective cone area has how much of the cone is actually being used to move air.
Or do you use half the surround or no?
Yeah, you would think it'd be half the surround, right?
Yeah, so you measure between like half the surround, like peak of the surround to peak of the surround.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and then that's your new effective cone area basically. So like a ZV5 15 is 129. I think square inches a cone instead of the 225 that or whatever 15 is
or some shit normally.
Yeah.
If you were measuring 7.5 times 7, but you're fucked up a long time ago.
Well, I mean that's how most people do cone area.
Yeah, that's how cone area is.
Really?
Yeah, radius.
No, you wouldn't go. It's 15, so I'm measuring 15 inches.
I'm telling you, bro. Hold on, let me see.
I would think that some people think they measure the cone from the inside of the surround, but you got to get a little bit of surround involved in that.
Well, like in most of and I remember in one of the rule books it says middle of the surround. You measure.
No, where's the
diameter
cone area?
But most like normal calculators that you use on the internet and stuff like that, it's just the pi r squared.
Yeah, so a 15 is 176.63 is what the conventional is, but effective cone area is like 128.
Okay.
For 15. So whenever he
for that
gave
15, but if it was like one of those 15s that has a puny ass little surround, now all of a sudden we get a little bit more. But then it doesn't have the
higher, but the
excursion
volumetric
and
displacement is lower.
Yeah.
Yes. Less excursion.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Yeah.
I've just always been like cautious of running like what 2 subs. Like me personally, I feel like 4 15s would just be I don't know, just be a better setup than like 2 18s or something like that.
I mean, especially for what what we're here to talk about, demo builds. The more coiled you can get in the vehicle, the better it's going to be.
Yeah, I just feel like the more subs you can disperse the power through.
Yep, exactly.
That's just. I mean, it might not be right, but it's just always been.
No, man, you're dead on the money.
Well, it's a demo for longer periods and spread the heat out and
more cone area is wind.
All the stuff.
That's where wind comes from.
And one of the hardest, like with the bigger ones, is it's so hard to fit them in places. You know, you have so much dead space between each sub. You don't know anything about that, bro.
What you know about?
No,
that,
I had to ask you, buddy.
I
know all about that.
Boy, you look to the side. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing.
She's gone now. I
can wild out.
Yeah.
Oh,
all right, whip it out, Steve. Handle it.
You guys don't want to see.
You got to bust the helicopter right now. Kicking you off the show.
I don't want to scare anybody.
Steven says disperse power puts a 6K and a 7,500 per sub.
Yeah, I mean,
he's not wrong at all. Are those wired at 1 ohm or are those wired at like a half ohm or some wild shit, Steve?
Half.
What are you still running the crossfires, right?
Like grenade 6 amps or something, I could always just wire down and keep going, you know.
You still got the 12 crossfires in there, or 24, or whatever.
12.
Yeah, 12. Yeah,
12.
In the
van.
And those are 7,500s. I thought those were 6Ks.
The truck has 7,500s.
The truck has 7,500s. Yeah, I just realized we were talking about both of them at the same time. All of a sudden,
I didn't either. That truck's been in the back of my mind for the longest.
What is
I think your truck would look super duper cool with a bunch of
sitting with a full build in it.
Bunch of what?
Blue, fancy looking 6Ks in it. The not the truck, the van. I think so.
Definitely.
And your truck would look really bitchin' with like a steel billet and acrylic dash assembly. I think so.
Yeah, I got to do something.
Yeah, we got to reinforce that firewall in that truck.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take it out, the whole dash, and just figure out what's going on back there. Because I have a bad, I have a leak back there somewhere. The floorboard's just been wet forever. And now that I haven't used it,
the whole fucking bottom is separated all the way across the whole front of the bottom of the firewall to the little angle part.
And just, not so much that you can't put the dash back, but put the dash back.
Yeah, I definitely want to put.
No, just build a new dash. Take that dash out. It's all broken and shit. Fuck that.
If I was to do a custom dash,
the dash is actually the only thing not broken.
It would have to be like legit, like 100%, like almost look like it was meant to be in that truck, you know? Because
all I know is I got the approval this morning to wild out on my Tahoe. So what's up?
Okay.
You want me to send a payment request or something?
I mean, I'm ready for doors right now.
That's when you know somebody for real or not. You send the request.
I was in his living room and pulled out a pile of cash, and he didn't take it. I was like, okay.
I should have taken it.
I literally pulled out like multiple thousands of dollars, and he just like looked at it. I was like, I'll put it back in my backpack then, bud. I'll just have to bring it back whenever I come to tune John's truck.
Every day that passes is like one more day I wish I would just sent the truck somewhere. Because that would be one more day, it would be closer to being done.
No.
Daily
all you have to do is send money. And then you're one more day closer to being done. Then you go on the list because we're, 4 months out probably.
See, but that's perfect because Brandy said that we'll start the Tahoe rebuild in January.
Cool.
There you go. You guys could do both at the same time.
That's blessed, man, to be that far out. You're blessed, bro.
We're working our fucking asses off, man.
For sure.
Trying. It's good. I like it.
Yeah. What I've seen, like just on Facebook, because I haven't been out west in a while. I've kind of been missing it, but it just seems to be like a whole nother level. What you guys have been doing.
If Bobby or John touch it, I mean, everything I saw
the laser work and stuff is like crazy. Like I don't think there's anybody doing that.
Well, that was all CNC work on those suspension links. Well, yeah, and mixing resins and doing resin pours and fucking ruining shit and machining it all away and throwing it away and starting over and then throwing away all the shit.
That live stream you did yesterday where you were showing that, but you were showing that acrylic box. You were showing that acrylic box you built. Did you carve that thing or something?
Oh, that's machined on the shape of the face of the box is done on the CNC machine. I designed it, and then I come in with a big ass ball end cutter that's pretty fucking wild, and it. Do
you have to go through and get that all polished up after, or is it finished like that?
I would imagine.
No. It's we start sanding at about 80 grit and go up to about 2,500, and then we hit it with a buffer.
Dang, that's crazy.
Nice.
Yeah, I did see that box in person. It is freaking awesome.
Have you unveiled the other box yet?
The Post Malone box?
Yeah.
That's the white one or with blue lights is the one that's going in Post Malone's 6-wheel Raptor that'll be at SEMA. Yep.
Yeah.
Super duper excited about that.
That box weighs more than any box I've had that wasn't a wall.
That's
just a fat, bro.
Extremely heavy. With the subs in it.
Is it acrylic or?
Yeah, it's all acrylic. It's built with mostly 3/4 inch. The face of the box, the baffle face assembly is 2 inches thick acrylic, and it's machined to that shape. And then the sides of the box are 1.25 inches thick. And
I think acrylic is pretty much heavier than like MDF, right?
Oh, it's way heavier.
Double density.
I'm telling you, I went to just move on like one of the because I think he had more than one there. I went to move it or something. I was like, I think he might told me to pick it up, and I like kind of moved it. It's like, God, that is heavy.
Oh, one of the little ones with the single 8 in it, and it's like a single 8, and it's probably 100 pounds with the sub in it for like a little.
Yeah, and I cut the pieces that I cut for the windshield of the van. I cut that shit on a table saw, and then I had to give up like 3/4 through and finish it out with a skill saw, and that shit sucked cutting that. Like,
put a brand new blade in.
I did.
Every cut.
It like went to the very end.
I got a couple of like 3 of my employees have like full on fucking retard strength. So like Tyson is big, tall, thin dude, and he's like 6'3" or something. He is super duper strong. So like we were working on this sign for this electrical company that's local, and I made it out of an 1.5 inch piece of acrylic that's like 46 by 31 inches. And Tyson and I were doing something, and he went to move that piece, and he grabbed it, and he's like, put it over there. And then the next morning I went to grab it, and I was like, oh shit. I'm like, I'm gonna hurt myself, man. I got flip-flops on. I ain't trying to hurt my little feet, dude. I was like, hey, somebody help me with this fucking thing. But we did one of those 6/8 all acrylic boxes recently, the all blue one, and Colt and Tyson were carrying that thing out to the truck, and they're like making noise and struggling, and I'm like, don't fucking drop that. If you dropped it, it'd be fucking over. It would crack like a motherfucker. It'd be all bad. But yeah. So
hey, that Post Malone box, are you installing it, or is it being?
No,
how's it
it's
getting
a shop
to
up in Utah that they work with frequently. It's a really good shop. It's DM Extreme is what they're called. They do some really nice install work. They've been using a bunch of my products for a long time, and they're great guys. And they're out in Utah. I can't remember exactly which city, but I can't imagine they're very far away from Salt Lake because There's nothing else in Utah.
Did you ship it out loaded like you didn't? Like
no, we're pulling the subs out. We'll put them back in. I just wanted the wires all done and everything to be easy. They just got to put them in the box, screw them in, and just connect the wires inside, and they're done.
Yeah.
So it'll ship out either tomorrow or Friday. We'll build the crate tomorrow and pack everything all up, and if it all goes smoothly enough, we'll have the freight company pick it up tomorrow.
Nice.
So that'll be one of the first things that we're doing for SEMA that actually leaves. It's like, oh, all right. So we got that, the Post Malone box. We got the suspension links for John's truck, which are one of the most challenging projects I've ever taken on. And I learned a lot. Like I'm a certified composites technician from when I worked at the fiberglass factory, and I've done more fiberglass work than anybody I've ever met. And I was working with composites, and I was fucking shit up. Like I was like, oh, let's just throw all 18 of these parts away and start over, because I have a way better way of doing this. And then we started over, and then I fucked up real bad. And then
So it sounds like my doors are going to be just hot. Hot.
I mean, doors are like, I'd never done suspension links before. I mean, if you saw the first half a dozen sets of doors I built, then you'd be like, what the fuck is that? But
hey, sometimes people do really good for their first or second set of doors.
Well, I think the first set of door pods I made, the end result was great. The process was a fucking nightmare. And then I built a couple other pretty cool pairs, but they is always working the shit out of them. Now, like doing these door panels that I do for like these Ford trucks, they go together pretty fucking smoothly now. So
do you know where is John's truck going to be at SEMA? It's in the show, right?
I can't remember. It's some booth. I can't remember which booth he said it was. So
okay,
yeah, yep,
nice.
Yep.
Yeah, I have Steven's second set of door panels he ever built was the ones in my truck.
Yeah, they're fucking sick too. Those are nice stores. Hey, so Mullen Performance Audio asked about RPM rate and feed rates. No, you wouldn't go up with the RPM rate. You might go faster with the feed rate machining acrylic. But what you should do if you're machining acrylic is you should reach out to your tooling provider, to the whoever makes the bits that you're using. And if whoever makes the bits that you're using doesn't have technical support to tell you what feed and speed rates to be running at, then you need to find somebody else, because they suck and they don't know shit about what they're providing you. So reach out. I use Vortex Tool Company. They're on the East Coast. I believe they're in South Carolina, but I could be wrong. I might be. No. That was who I used to use. I think they're in Wisconsin or something like that. But anyway, my bad. The Vortex Tool Company, and they have amazing tech support, and they'll help you quite a bit. And by the bits that they tell you to run, I've been doing a bunch with aluminum, machining aluminum and acrylic and resin all at the same time. And that's been interesting. Because I laminated. So I did the resin pour, and then I machined it flat, and then I laminated aluminum to the resin with more resin. And then
what is it that gives the little pockets? Why does it look like they're like?
Because they are. Because they are.
Because they're 5/8 of an inch deep.
Right, but like when the light shines through it, it looks like it has like a diamond cut to it almost.
It is, because it's cut with a 45-degree cutter.
Oh, so they're like cut inside the resin as well as has the
acrylic. Yeah, through the aluminum, through the resin, through into the acrylic.
Oh, okay, I see.
Come on, Steven. When are you gonna start doing that stuff in the van?
No point in that. Not that thing.
You should do the whole windshield like that.
You can't even fucking see.
Speaking of the van, how are the new subs sounding? I saw you got them in there and kind of moving around a little bit.
Everybody keeps asking me, but I really just haven't done anything but just played 20 hertz. I played like 10 seconds of a song just to make sure they were playing, and
just
I haven't turned it up just because of the timing, and like everybody's been at our complex who are working, and I just haven't really had an opportunity yet.
Yeah.
That's the same thing with Tahoe. I haven't turned it up either.
Yeah, I mean, I really won't know. I mean, I'm sure they're going to do great, but I really won't know until the show. Unless I can
get Wake the Dead, right? That's your next one.
Yeah.
And that's 2 days, 2-3 days,
2 or 3 days. Yeah. So I'm desperately just trying to bump them around at 20 just to kind of get some kind of loosen them up a little bit before I just go out there. Because once I get out there, I have no self-control, man. People just start coming around me and just, hey, turn it up. Let me get a demo. And then I just can't ever stop.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm so proud of myself now with how I operate a vehicle.
Yes, Facebook user.
I was playing the Raiden truck at that Truck Mania show. Was it a couple weekends ago? And most of the day I was operating that thing at 80%. Like, and I knew it had
80% of the Raiden truck is enough for 99% of people. Just like
that's right.
50% of Steven's van is enough for 99.8% of people.
But we don't feel like it's loud when you're operating it. So
I know.
It might be, but it's like, dude, it's not even turned out. Like,
Pretty girl hops in the Raiden. Pretty girl hops in the Raiden. I turned it up until it did a really good hair trick, and then I stopped. And then I was like, oh, okay, cool. I only need to be at volume 23 for that. And I'm like, cool. Yeah. And I'd be like 23, 24, 23, 24. And then every once in a while, like a car audio guy would get in. And I'd be like, okay, hold on.
30.
Like 27. And they're like, oh. And then like get out. And one guy was like, hey, man, that was louder than the last couple people. And I was like, get in, make it in. And I was like, shh, I give it to you. And he's like, click. And he's like, oh, he's like,
that's what I did whenever Bobby got a demo at Slam. That radio got turned up. I mean, it had been demoing for 2 or 3 hours straight at that point. I get in and I'm like, nope, more clicks for Bobby. Spark show.
Everybody has more clicks for Bobby. Even Kyle in the fucking Clippo was like, no, hold on. Let me get some batteries back in this thing for a second. And I'm like waiting, and then he's like, hold on, don't get in. like wait, telling people to wait. And then he's like, all right, get in. And then he's like, dude, that thing was trying to kill me. It was trying to drag me into the port. I was holding on to the fucking things. Subs were so hot that it burned my finger and shit. I was like, I don't want to be in there. But
people do the same thing to me. I'm like, dude, I don't need it to be this loud. Like, I'm not.
I have a loud vehicle.
Like, I don't want to get in my own shit. Why would I get in your?
I can't ever get out. They won't let me out. They'll demo like 4 songs. I'm like, all right, bro. Appreciate it, man. The last show, man, I was literally digging knots out of my hair for like 2 hours at the house. Just, I thought I was gonna have to cut it. It was that bad.
I'm jealous.
So Facebook user bringing up old shit, man. Why you got to talk about me getting drunk and setting my truck on fire?
It'd be like that sometimes.
Dude, fire. I was parked right across from you, Steve. And, man, there was just fire coming out of my amps. So I was like, I put it out by, like, asking it to stop being on fire. Please stop being on fire. And then the fire went out, and I was like, oh, thank you. I'm not being on fire anymore. But, yeah.
I don't think I've ever actually got a full demo, like, when the van was completely playing, because every time I got a demo of your van, Steve, it was always at the end of the show or whatever when you'd already beat the shit out of.
As soon as I got those, just downhill from there. If I can control myself, like I'm really good. Like the first maybe like 2 hours of a show,
first 15, 20 minutes. No. Remember at the Sundown show last year? I walked up to you and it was like 9:15 a.m. That shit was still cold. And that was brutal. I don't know if you know this, but it ripped that Sundown hat off my head and was bashing it into my face. And that like basket fucking weave hat cut my face up all over the place. The next day I had all these little scabs. I looked like a fucking tweaker. I've been picking my face or something. And I was like, damn, I washed my face and I was like, fuck, that shit hurts. I know what I wiped the sweat and I was like, God damn, my face like stings. It hurt like a motherfucker. And I was like, fuck, it's all sweaty. And it was like 88 degrees. It was like drizzling rain on and off out there. And I was like talking to John. He's like, you got a little cut on your face. And then the next day, there was like 7. I was like, fuck.
I actually burned my my arm. I got a scar on my. It's not there anymore, but I had a scar on my arm from the motor trying to pull that one of those out later in that day.
Mm-mm.
And I almost passed out from like heat exhaustion at that show.
Don't let Steven lie to y'all. Talk about he easy on stuff at first. When we go to Made of Steel, I said, don't break it Friday. Friday not even a show day. It's just setup day.
To be fair, like,
broke it Friday.
I mean, they put me right next to Joel. He already had a crowd there, so they just like instantly. Obviously, when you pull up, they just all turn and they want to see the next thing that's there. You know, so I just got bombarded as soon as I pulled up, and I'm just like, you can't disappoint. You hate when you drive
80% though will not disappoint. 80% won't disappoint.
But I do that. But my 80% still gets themselves hot. I mean, and I'm putting a lot of power to those things.
Yeah.
We're gonna fix that.
Well, then 70%. I don't fucking know, man. Just
once you hear the Tahoe, if you come over tomorrow,
it's really just how long of a demo I give. I need to shorten them. And I need to give them a little more time between. That's just all there is to it. But I just cannot seem to do it. When I'm not at the show, I can tell everybody what I should do. But when I get there, I just don't do
it. We need to go.
It's hard when people are waiting in line to be like, "I'm done."
Yeah,
it's like, I've been waiting. It's just
I just haven't got to that point yet where I can just tell somebody, I'm like, "All right, I'm shutting it down," and then somebody looks at me like, "Oh man," I'm like, "All right, one more," and then I'll do that like 6 times.
That's how I caught the Green Monster on fire. I had people getting demos and they're like, "Hey man, I got back in line to tell you should turn this shit off."
I've been in line for 30 minutes.
What, man? I was like, "Oh, burger," and I like, all right. They're like, "Dude, turn. Look how hot your subs are. Your subs are so hot." I was like, "My amps
CES
not
2017.
CES like 3 years ago, you had that there, right?
Yeah.
That was with the crazy glitter A pillars that you had.
Yeah.
And the glitter, yeah. I remember that. I think it was pretty awesome.
My motors were hot, but my amps weren't that bad. And then I shut it down, and I was like standing there talking to somebody, and this dude comes running up, and he had been by earlier, and there was a big ass line, and he was like, "Oh, I'll come back by," and that motherfucker should have got in line, but whatever. He was like, "Hey, I'm leaving right now to go catch my plane. Can I get a quick demo?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, fuck it." And I fired it back up real quick, and I'm giving the demo right at the same time. The Windy City Bourbon, and he would play for like 15-20 minutes at a time, and he'd be like, "That's it, I'm done." And he would, like, every time he would do it, that thing was like ripping itself apart. It was so gnarly that everybody could, and then like it'd get done, and everybody would be like, "Oh, cool, let's go to that green truck." And so all of a sudden I had this huge crowd, and I was like, "Oh shit." And I'm like, "All right, next demo, fuck it." And then like, I don't know, 15 more demos later, Lucky McGovern was sitting in the driver's seat of the truck. I had the head unit in my hands, and all of a sudden I like, it sounded kind of funny, and like it was making like electrical noises, and I like looked down, and it was like sparks spraying out of the front of one of my amplifiers, and that was when we knew the floor was ripped real bad, because it was thrashing the amps.
I can handle a blown sub. I'm okay with that, but an amp, no, man. There's nothing I can do about an amp.
Yeah, you can't rebuild an amp.
All your subs are 3-inch coils too, right?
Not anymore.
No, they're 3.5.
The new ones are like 3.3 or something like that.
Oh,
I wonder how much more durable they'll be. Because I know when I switched to a 4-inch coil, I mean, my subs were the last thing on the list of things to be hot or to.
Well, the problem with mine is that they're too tight. So as soon as they start heating up, they just instantly start scrubbing and hitting the sides, and I'm almost like 70% of them have blown out arcs in them. Like whenever I get done,
that's the issue I was having on the Tahoe. That's why that one is so sparky, because that's from before I got it as dialed in as it is, and they would heat up, start rocking, and then that's where the sparks start, and they just don't stop. But now, now that it's dialed in,
blister the former, and then it's all bad.
Yeah, now that the Tahoe's dialed in, I can play it whatever volume any of you have heard it at the loudest. That's how loud I can play now for an entire song.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I like the videos I've been posting lately. That's like my demo volume, and it's louder than ever before.
I saw the video you posted of the doors on JP's Tahoe. Sounded pretty good.
Oh yeah, some old man came and yelled at me like 10 minutes later.
Yeah, it's becoming harder and harder to find anywhere to do anything we like to do. Man. That's why the show is in Prim this year and probably will be forever on because there's literally nowhere in Vegas we could do a base show.
I was on Google Maps last night trying to find a place to take his Tahoe to go play it, and I was just like, man, there's just nowhere that's going to be empty enough.
Especially when you got to put on a trailer it somewhere.
Yeah, no, I was looking like trailer distance away.
Like the truck, I just drive a truck down the interstate. If they don't like it, they can just speed up. You know what I mean? But I can't.
I mean, Price's Tahoe actually drives really fine. It's just
I'll drive down the beach and whenever I'll get past like somebody, I'll just turn it up. That's why I miss the truck, man.
Where's the truck? Is it at your house or?
It's at my shop.
But you just don't ever drive it. It just sits there.
I used whenever it was playing and everything was together and the AC was working, I would drive it I'd just get off at work sometimes and just jump in it and just go for a cruise and just bang my head off with the freaking, driving around.
What's
like an hour sometimes and then just go park it and then go home.
What's broken with it? I mean, you said no AC, but like
the AC. No, I have the console and all is out right now because I got to redo all that.
Okay.
So
plan to ship
there's
that thing
no DSP
like
in there. I'm waiting on this JL TWK and
yeah. Do you do all your builds yourself or do you have like a shop you do it all yourself?
I do it myself and I'm just learning as I go. Really
nice.
Ship that thing to me in February and have it for the Sky High Barbecue in May.
Yeah,
we need to talk about it on a serious level
for sure.
Make sure we're on the same page, and if it's something I want to do, and
hey
baby,
and
absolutely,
and he needs to make sure he can afford it. If it's anything more than 3 figures, you might as well cut that.
Yeah,
I'll build the whole shit for $900, bro.
I mean, Bobby's $900 build would be better than this $80,000 build in my driveway right now.
Bro,
that's fucked up.
Promise you.
That is fucked up.
Did I tell you I found out all the amps were a gain match though? All the way up.
All the way up. That's
there's wide open. Match to be turn them all the way up.
Yeah. Well, 7 of them were all the way up. 2 of them are like halfway down.
Oh, nice. Okay, that's cool. Now, real quick on that note, how does JP feel about that shit?
I don't know.
Is he mad or what?
He hasn't really said directly how. I'm sure he's not happy, but he also still has a business relationship with all those guys. Def Bond. So there's probably a limit to how much he wants to get into it.
Oh,
well, and I don't know what JP's like as a person to deal with to build something for, but a lot of the people I've come across that own companies, they kind of want to get their builds done at a discount and kind of expect as much pride to go into it as if they were doing it themselves, and it kind of doesn't work that way. If you want,
I'll tell you
do
what
it yourself,
I was told.
or you pay a lot of money if you want it done.
I'll tell you what I was told.
You would do it basically.
About the build, and then the same thing I was told whenever I got it. I don't care what it costs, make it right.
Yeah, but this could be at the point where it's. But like I said, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what was told to the last shop who had it. Now, there's no real budget, make it right.
Well, I haven't seen it, but you've seen it now.
So I've seen it. I've seen all of it.
I know how much time I've spent.
Was that work from the same build, or was that just work pieced together from the last 5 or 6 builds?
Everything I've posted was B-pillar back, so it was brand new the last 6 months.
Yeah, because that whole thing was gutted, basically.
From the B-pillar back, it was gutted. Yeah, B-pillar forward is still mostly James, like his dash and all that, still. I mean, the leather's peeling and stuff just from whatever.
I mean, I would have
physically it's all fine.
I would have donated a distro block, man, if I had known that.
Is there something wrong?
Bro?
Something wrong with the cage work, or does that look okay?
It looks rushed. That's about it.
That build did go
that
together.
Back panel, that back
fast.
wall, that's not flexing.
I don't know. I haven't had a chance. I've only turned it up like base wise once at my parents' house, just because I was standing outside the truck, and I can already tell you just from that little demo that both doors have to be shut to play this truck for one. And then I was just standing at the door, so I wasn't around the truck to watch it. But I have heard that the amp rack does jump. I have been told that.
So why is both doors got to be closed? You can tell it's going to unload or what?
Well, he's got a cage on that back wall, right?
Yeah, I mean the whole thing's caged.
That don't mean that it's solid.
Yeah, because there's no brace or anything like from back to front.
I did see one part where the cage, the way they put it together in a corner, and it was exactly how I would not do it.
Is it the opposite of how I would do it?
Bothers me a little bit. So what? So if I could see that, what is there done that I can't see?
Yeah, so I was standing at the door and I turned it up. This is when I realized, like, I'd kind of just hoped that the games would be set accurately because they're such a pain in the ass to get to because the way it's built. I turn it up and I just see one sub just like full yeet in the wall, and one sub just like, I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool.
Did you take all the amps down to have to do that, or be able to reach under?
If I want to do it 100% correctly, yes, I'll have to gut the amp rack to do it, but I'm not doing that. I'm gonna leave all the subs hooked up. I'm gonna set gains at like 20% and just match them all, and then use the tweak to just send voltage in. I mean, he has so much power that it'll be fine.
Yeah,
10K per sub, whatever it is.
So, Steve, let me ask you something about your van, because I know originally you got that from
Bobby Wright.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it was a different baffle layout. Did you gut it completely, or did you keep the shell and
wood shell?
Basically, or okay, but you kept that.
I kept it, yeah.
Yeah.
I just wasn't. I wasn't like physically prepared to do a full out build like that. That's why I bought it.
Right.
Ended up doing.
If I wanted to do a full out build, I would have bought a clean Astrovan, not a beat up Astrovan. You know, I mean, that I would have basically just saved 9 runs of power underneath it and an alt bracket. You know, and
I just wasn't sure if you rebuilt it because you weren't happy with it, or you were just.
I mean, I was breaking subs like every show. I mean,
like even more so than now.
Yeah, they were, and the baffles were just literally wore out. Like I couldn't even almost find any area to screw it anymore. Like I was at the last show that I brought it to, subs were just literally falling out mid demo. I shut the system off and took the van and put it on the trailer, and I said I'm never gonna go back with this build again the way it is. I was just done.
Yeah,
at that point.
You know, a lot of times when you see a demo build being sold, it's because the person selling it was done with that shit too.
Yeah, I mean he killed it, you know, with it, and you know, had his time with it, and was probably just over it, just kind of like I was at the time, and I haven't had much success since. I mean, I'll be honest. I mean, it's been awesome, and people love it, and I love the way it sounds, but as far as like the breaking part, I've just been annihilating subs ever. You know,
if you were sitting in it, it would stop basically instantly because you be able to hear whenever something isn't happy. That's the issue. That's one of the issues, that you can't hear when something isn't happy, so you don't know when to stop.
The fact that I'm like playing low notes, and then I turn around and I'm playing high notes in the same back to back. Just,
I mean, that should be fine.
The subs are probably freaking out and not cooling down and just doing all kinds of weird stuff. And
I'll show you.
You don't have a temp sensor thing like you do in the truck?
Yeah.
You don't, or you do?
I do, yeah. I do, yeah.
I just think you're just pushing those subs to just the limit. Like I haven't had issues breaking shit, but
I really do
push them like that.
I think the subs are just done. That's
you've always been given those 3-inch coils like triple rated power, basically. I mean, they can only last for so long.
And I mean, I went all entire Saturday at scraping this past year and didn't break not one thing. Everything broke on Sunday, the second day. So,
Did you turn it up on click on Sunday?
No, it just I don't know. I think I came there. I went there in the morning, and
now that it's not hot, I'm gonna just don't break it. Just don't try not to break. Well, I mean, we could probably get some time in Friday somewhere.
When your subs get hot, are you playing like 10 to 15 hertz to cool them down, or are you just
I play 20.
I'd go down lower, 10 to 15. But
yeah, see, I was actually gonna ask some people about that, or if I should maybe try to find a lower track.
Yeah, 20 may not be low enough because you may still be like loading.
Yeah, because they're not really moving.
No, I play 10 hertz when I cool mine down in between runs, and that's one thing a lot of people don't do. They just let it sit.
Yeah,
no, you don't want to let it sit.
You got to cool down, man. What I do is I'll open both front doors and play 20, and it's just like.
Yeah, but I could like literally the video I just shot earlier was 20 hertz, and those things are like, I mean, they're moving a quarter inch at best.
Yeah, drop that down. That would help probably a little bit. But I think these new subs,
and it'd be kind of cool. You're like, I'm gonna let it cool down for 3 minutes and play 10 hertz, and people are walking up with this low volume of 10 hertz, and they're all whoa. And it's all,
they do that. Yeah, they do that now at 20, and people just. I could probably just leave it at 20 hertz, like mid volume, and just walk away and never come back, and people will just go in there all day.
Demos.
Not like crazy, not crazy.
You got 8 tracks that are primarily based at 20 hertz. You got the volume at like 45%.
Dude, DJ Ruskell has a ton of tracks that are in the teens.
Yeah,
that's all you, buddy.
Your average people that are going to a show that aren't crazy like we are love it.
Crossfire 6Ks at half.
Have you let's just say clamped it? Do you know like how much actual power you are running? Nope. Do you ever run the van in
I'm gonna at Wake to Dead, I'm gonna have the term lab set up on the table like I did last time I went there, and we'll figure it all out there. I'm gonna have clamped power on there. I'm gonna have the score. Everything will be up there all day. Because I really enjoyed doing that last time, and everybody got a kick out of it, seeing how loud their demo was, and
yeah, but that's also how you break stuff because you want to see a higher number.
Yeah, that was the funnest part to me, and I don't know why.
I think it's fun too. I mean, when Joe Price did that at Slam a few years ago, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed seeing other people get in and see how loud they could take it and shit. I thought it was pretty cool.
Remember, you got no recones.
I think it was like 66. I was done. I couldn't get past the 66.
You ain't got no recones.
I do got some recones. I just don't have any spares. So once one goes, it's done. I'm not plugging shit, and I'm not playing with, speakers.
Don't break it. Then don't plan on operating at 100%. Plan on making sure it stays operational.
Yeah, that's definitely got to be the goal for the first couple shows, and then until Jacob starts, getting some more subs made, and then I can get me a couple of spares, and then I can kind of go full ham,
Yeah.
And I'll just take it out and throw one in.
It's not hot, and I'll be done with a bunch of these projects. I'm going to come over for a weekend, and we're gonna dig through that thing.
Yeah, I really think I should have a good show. I mean, God, I hope I don't look back and say, "Damn, what an idiot." But
I do that shit every day. I reach the end of the day, I'm like, "Fuck, I'm an idiot."
Dude, I wake up. I'm like,
what the fuck is wrong with me? I'm like,
yeah.
Steven wakes up like, damn, my wallet thick today. Shit.
Oh, I have some of those days too. I still feel like an idiot. I'm like, how the fuck do you guys give me all this shit? I'm stupid.
Let me see.
I got a cat hanging out with me over here. That's funny. You see the cat?
What's cash, man? I haven't seen a dollar bill, and I couldn't tell you how long.
Wealth.
Crazy how the world operates.
Wealth. Boy said, Bull pulls out a 20, like, ugh. Off me.
My money only
hey, man, can I give you cash and get a discount? I'm like, for why, dude? Like, I don't even, what am I going to do with your cash?
I don't give a discount. I don't even like to pay with cash.
You just have a bunch of expenses, but you didn't get paid on it. That's why you.
I know. I'm just not that way anymore. I used to have cash for so long, and I spend it too, like, irresponsibly.
Willy-nilly.
See, I'm the other way. Like, I spend the credit stupidly not stupidly, but more easily because I don't really feel like it's there. The cash, I have it physically in my hand. I don't want to spend it as much. I don't know why.
I pay my credit cards. I pay my credit cards every other day, every single one of them.
Yeah, I do mine like once a week.
All right.
I have one that has a really low limit, but it has really good cash back. So it's only got like a $10,000 limit, but it's got really bitching cash back. So I got to pay that motherfucker every 2 days. So if I'm in there paying that one, I just pay all the other ones too.
All right. So this is what I was going to. So when I talk about phase and stuff, we're going to get demo fancy here for a minute on how to fix Steven's van. So you see these 3 lines right here?
Yeah.
Each of those lines is a row of subs in Price's Tahoe playing.
Okay.
And this is their phase alignment from 20 hertz to about 100. So you see they kind of start losing their shit at 50. This is after I dialed it in. So they are in phase. Damn it. About as good as you can get. From 20 to 50. But this is what I had to do to get them in phase. 4.2 and 2 milliseconds of delay between the rows. That's equivalent to like 6 and 12 feet at that frequency, at like 26 hertz. And that's the crossovers for the individual rows to get them in phase.
Wow.
So different crossovers.
That's crazy.
Big
what
amounts
would you
of
chalk that
time.
up to? Is it poor box design or what?
Yes, the angles of the box. So it's the angles, with there's 3 different angles, and then it's also the distance. The front subs are a few feet more forward than the back subs, and the deeper it goes, the more exaggerated this gets. So like Duncan's van would have, I think it's 4 rows of 3.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought so. So he'll have 4 lines, and I bet you so 0 is the furthest away, the back one. I bet you his front one ends up being like 10 milliseconds of delay to get it in phase with the back row. And then his Price has a port too, so I'll have to. Anyway, so that's a big delay in sound, and then crossover to get them in phase to play at the same time.
I just feel like if you can get all those waves coming in at the same time, though, my God.
That's what this is. That's what this is. That is 100% exactly what this is.
So we need to do that to the Raiden.
Yes.
So with the way I'm gonna have the Explorer set up, I've got all 9 subs wired together.
No.
I do have them. This is how it's set up. They aren't gonna be all wired to 1 amp.
We had that idea that we talked about, Steve.
I ain't no time for that, bro. I'm barely gonna be able to get this shit fucking playing as is, dude. No, but yeah, I have 9 subs that are wired. They're gonna be all wired together, series parallel.
Well, I mean, the initial version of the build, you're gonna run on 1 amp. You're gonna be fine.
Get together just for 1 amp just to get it going, and then you're gonna add more later. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's fine, but I'm talking about like whenever you add power, you need to separate them, so at least to be able to control rows.
Oh yeah. But I mean, for right now, since they're all coming off the exact same source and 1 amp, are they all gonna just play the same, or would you still really have to go in there? There is no way to really go in there.
There's no way. No, if you have 1 amp, then there's nothing to do.
You can add like 600 feet of wire and like 300 feet of wire.
Yes, you could add massive amounts of wire to cause delay.
Okay.
But no, I mean, for something like that,
it would actually be like thousands of feet of wire, really. But yeah,
I think 99.9% of builds you've ever heard have had 0 phase alignment or 0 time alignment.
Right.
So it'll be fine on low power, but whenever you get to big power, it'll be worth it to do it. The first time I ever did this was 10 years ago, 9 years ago. And we gained a dB and a half below 30 hertz, adding 0 power.
No, I noticed a huge difference when we just phase matched all my amps. Carlos has
you phase match them. You didn't phase align them.
You electrically phase align them, but that doesn't do. So that helps.
It doesn't do what you did there.
Yeah.
Right. It doesn't not like what you showed on the screen, but just phase aligning the amps with the O scope.
Just getting the amps into phase is going to help for sure.
Yeah. It was audibly noticeable, at least.
And then once you acoustically phase align, acoustically phase align, it improves way more.
What's acoustically phase align? What's that?
So what he was just talking about was
that's messing with time alignment.
I understand electrical, and then
so that's what he was just talking about. Acoustic phase alignment is whenever the sound waves arrive at the same time at the same angle to the listening location.
So when you change that, is it messing at all with the phase alignment? Like, so if I were to do phase with the scope and match all the phase on the amps, and then go in and do the time alignment, does it mess?
There's no reason to do it at the amps like that.
So just skip that and just do it.
The only reason you would do it at the amps is if you can't do it acoustically.
I got you.
Because acoustically is what matters in the end. So this is the first build we ever did it with. We started with this back row is on an amp, this row is on an amp, this row is on an amp. Mike Singer was actually the one who kind of walking me through what it was and how to do it. But Rockford amps don't have a phase knob. They have a switch. So we had to use a 360.3 set up to be a mid-bass processor because you couldn't do more than 2 channels of sub. And like I said, we gained a dB.5 below 30 hertz, adding 0 power 10 years ago.
So you could do that.
They would just add another DSP just for the sub amps in the Raiden.
Yep.
And then we would do that alignment.
Mm-hmm.
And I would be doing that with like an RTA set up with a mic in the front seat.
It'd be best to have one that can show you phase in real time. Makes it a lot easier. I mean, because you can get phase like not in real time, but it's just slow.
I don't know why this just came to mind. Bobby, did you ever did you order one of those kicker key locks and mess with it?
No, we didn't need that for
that. Rondo.
But
anything I tune for Vegas and all that, we'll be getting. I mean, that's one of the biggest parts of tuning, especially front stage, you're getting phase and time in line. Like example, I had a owner of a car audio brand today come to the house to check out Neoho and a couple other things. And he got a demo of my truck, and he was physically getting up to look in the dashboard and in the ceiling for speakers in the middle. And there's nothing there. Because most people haven't heard proper phase and time alignment.
So I should just go ahead and order the damn JL Max Tune.
There are other devices that will show real time phase. I think.
Well, my advantage to getting the Max is that I can call you and you can go, "This is what you do," and I go, "Okay, cool."
And if I don't know, then I can call. People far more advanced than I am with it.
Right.
Yeah, and then like those guys can log in remotely.
If we need to call Jeff and those guys, I'm sure they'll be happy to help.
Yep, and like they can log in remotely from anywhere in the country and tune your vehicle. It's easier if they have like a JL processor, but they logged in and tuned my truck for me once. Well, we did like a group tuning session, and they weren't even they're cross country. They made the truck sound
coming out with a new DSP.
They have to be. Because the Tweak's old.
This guy's asking how you would do 12 subs with 12 amps. When you have each amp number.
In your van, we're going to control rows probably because that'd be easier.
Yeah.
You can do individual subs, which is the best way, but you'll have to. So like for your van, we're going to lay like a weighted blanket over any sub that isn't being powered at that time, so it doesn't act as a passive radiator and doesn't affect phase results. So you'd have to do the same thing for every sub. Like say you're doing every sub, we'd have to do it for we have to put something on every other sub to hold down their mass so they don't move.
How much hold down?
Anything's better than nothing. Well, you can wire them in direct short. Like the coils direct short, not hooked up to power, and they just won't move then. But I don't know. I'll be doing prices with the sub moving because I'm not fighting that.
Bobby, what is this strobe light that Drew said that you can change the frequency on it and point it at your subs and it kind of slows everything down? Is that something that is real?
Oh, buddy, it is so real.
He knows what you're talking about.
So real. Hold on.
It's
like a timing light, man, for a timing
John
belt.
Nolte
I swear to God.
Drew, what the fuck are you telling this guy, man?
I'm telling you.
You got a timing light.
Dude, I thought it was an April
under the
Fool's joke.
Fucking timing,
but it was like August.
I remember John Nolte doing something like that. Bobby,
say what?
Right? So I remember John Nolte doing something like that, where he was doing it to where his ceiling fan wasn't moving. Did a video. He was able to time the light.
No, he was timing. He was timing the camera's image rate.
Okay.
He could adjust that, and it would make it look like the fan wasn't spinning.
Hold on. I got you.
The helicopters that don't look like the fans are split. What?
So are you saying that you don't remember at all what Drew's talking about?
Me?
I don't know if I might not have showed him.
Well, if he's the one doing it.
I thought you said Bobby was the one selling the damn thing.
No, Dayton Audio.
Oh, Dayton Audio.
Well, you said Bobby, man.
The audio, Dayton audio. Yeah, sure. Audio strobe.
Woofer analyzer.
All right, so the woofer does not change. That is the flashing of the light causing that is what you will see.
Huh.
So you set it, the FPS, they call it flashes per second, whatever. You know, you'll set it to whatever your speaker's moving at. Let's see if it shows it.
And
then so it goes from moving like that at 60 hertz to that.
It's still moving the same, but now
it's moving the same, but
you're seeing it moving slower, so you can like pay attention to what's going on. Like, I get so confused looking at my whole wall. Sometimes I can't tell what's moving right and what's not.
Yeah, so if you put it at 20, then it would just show 20. Oh no!
Yeah, I wonder if you could build those lights into the into the ceiling pointing your
I can like carefully look around and like, oh shit, that one's not moving right.
Like I thought it was fake. I thought it was April Fool's, but it was August when I saw it.
How much is it?
$80.
Well, fucking buy one.
Yeah, I mean, and if it sucks, it's $80. Hold on. Oh, there's a views now.
You said Bobby had them. I was about to say, send me one, dude.
No, it does not work. No, this one part says it works.
User error.
How many reviews did they have total?
It's 2. It's new. It came out like a month ago.
I mean, I've bought shit for more expensive on Amazon that turned out to be nothing.
I bought things that are totally useful and never used them at all.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
I mean, people buy college degrees all the time.
Even people who don't go to college, huh?
So,
fog machine, lasers, and strobe lights and shit. That's what we need. We need big old fucking fog machines for the demo builds.
No, dude. I already get stressed up when people start vaping around.
Just imagine looking at a chick's hair and it not moving. It's just sitting up in the air still.
That'd be cool. Shit, think about that.
Think of the possibilities.
So you fire the light and then you film it with your phone, or is it also? It's not also a camera. It's
it's just that's just what it looks like to your naked eye.
No, you got to be there. You got to be there for the effect, man. If you're not there, then you missed out.
Yeah. So what if your camera's recording at like a different frame rate? So then it's.
Or what if it's a bright sunny fucking day and you're outside because you're in a car?
Well, luckily, it's dark inside Duncan's van all the time. EPS with wave alignment. What? Oh, helps with wave alignment.
Yeah, I guess that's true. If I'm at a show like it's bright as fuck out there, then I'm not gonna.
If the sealed section is shaped like a pie, it's like a pie shape, helps with alignment. If the back wall of the seal chamber is the same angle as the baffle, then helps with loading. Like if you look at Joe Price's wall, how it's got that big ass angle on it, the back wall matches that. It's directly behind it. It's the exact same angle.
It's perpendicular with it.
Yeah, because if it wasn't, there'd be a massive discrepancy in the front sub distance and the rear sub distance. Wow. I know things sometimes.
That's one thing I regret not doing is
I think I told you to.
Angling the bottom of the enclosure to match the baffle.
we can correct with it pretty well with time and phase.
Well, yeah, mine's not like that at all. That helps with loading and all that shit.
Yours is flat, right?
Oh, I got
Steve's is angled.
I got
Yours
steps.
is angled.
I got all kinds
Yours
of
is
shit.
angled though, right?
My baffle's angled, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
See, it's small.
Yeah.
It's not much of an angle, but it's there.
See, I have subs getting hotter. I have subs getting hotter in like different parts of the baffle.
I think that's a power thing. I think that's amps are gains are walking, causing power shifts.
I mean, I can't.
Sixth order.
How it's there monitor that when I'm holding the radio and.
Well, you won't know. You won't have so. Whenever, like I said, whenever we finally get around to tuning it, we're gonna hot glue the gains in place.
I had to do that to all my pots because everything would walk. I'd go to a show.
I know my 16Ks walked a lot, but I haven't had any issues with.
Blew up all the time.
I check these 6Ks often, and they have not moved.
Bobby, that's one thing with your amps. Make sure those guys give you like the best pots.
The detent pots, the ones that click.
Just ones that don't move.
The ones that click into place. That every bass amp should have the detent pots that click. I don't care anymore. It's 2022. Come on.
I'm pretty sure that ours are the clicky ones.
Because the clicky ones can't move.
Yeah, but then aren't they set at like a certain amount per click?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, but how would you gain match them then if like one click moves at 0.6 volts?
Don't suck. I mean, realistically, like nothing's ever going to be perfectly game matched anyway. Because say you game match them all perfectly at full power or 40 hertz, like the potentiometer sensitivity or like a cap sensitivity could be 5% off, 5 frequency, 5 hertz lower, and it'll be way off at power at that point. Stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna go stop by the shop that I get my tweaks from, and if they have tweaks, I'm gonna pick up Steven's tweaks and send him a bill.
So what are you gonna do about that angle? You're just gonna just build up the floor to match, basically.
You just leave it; it'd be all right.
Hell no,
okay. You're not gonna fuck with it.
No, there's a full skeleton of steel inside underneath that thing.
Oh, that's right.
But not my box, but a pie shaped ported section, like a horn. Horns are lame, bro. There's a horn outside and it sucks.
Sounds like that would be really difficult to get the subs out. I want to open my shit up as much as I possibly can. I hate even having that load wall in there.
I'll tell you now that my sealed cage is in there and the baffle's like kind of in, I crawled
a lot less roomier, a lot less spacious.
And I was like, dude, I cannot do this too many more times. My back's feeling like it's going to break. And I don't know how the hell I'm going to. I mean, I know I'm going to be able to do it, but it's going to be a pain in the ass loading these subs back there.
Well, I have 2 newer employees, so they're the workhorses now. The other ones are like, fuck, they know I'm about to ask, so they'll like get far away to where they don't want to ask them. The new guys don't know yet, so.
They'll figure it out.
Subs are heavy too. Like
the
kicker subs I'm going to put in there right now are only like 30 pounds. So.
It's not bad if it's just right there in front of you, but once you have to lay on your stomach to get to the back, you have no leverage. Yeah. You're like Superman in it, man. You're holding your arm straight out with that sub, trying to get it in there,
trying not to crush the other subs.
Yeah, well, I just
see. That's why mine motor's up. You can just lay across the motors. What's the worst that's gonna happen?
You burn your stomach.
You'll be all right. Kitty. You'll bounce back.
Yeah.
So we gotta get some. Steve Dunkin's not pretty enough, man. That's what I mean. That's what we picked him for.
Well, no. It says about time we got someone pretty.
Do you ever run it inverted, or you always?
Oh, I see. Yes, we did. All right. Yeah, he is pretty enough. Okay.
Yeah, I think this build's always been normal. Motors down.
What's that?
The motors in the van.
Motors down or up. If you ever mess with it.
Yeah, I just felt like at the time that everybody's been doing motors up, and just everywhere you look, that's all you see.
Because cooling.
I get it. I got ports back there. It's not like it's sealed up.
Yes.
Well, I mean, air doesn't move.
Fucking oven in there.
Air doesn't move. Leave the port for the most part. It just kind of goes back and forth.
Steve.
Well, if I still have heating problems, that'll be my next solution.
No. We're gonna fix all your heating issues.
I just love the cone. I love watching the cones.
Yeah.
Knowledge.
I'd run mine all standard amount if I could, but I can't.
Yeah.
There's like 1, 2,
It's just
3,
preference. I didn't
4
really
of them
do
that
it for
won't
any
fit.
reason other than that. I just wanted to do something different, and it's
I
hard.
just like to build it where you can see both sides of the sub, because that's super easy.
Just use all acrylic, right?
Yeah, just a load of acrylic.
Just stop being poor.
Fuck.
That's the secret.
Yeah. Could you not be a broke dick? Fuck. What the hell?
Well, I won't.
You can't
I ain't gonna
afford
lie,
10 racks.
I did contemplate doing some kind of acrylic on the front where you can like look under the and see the whole bottom chamber.
Yeah, you do acrylic on the front and a mirror on the bottom and top.
I have thought about that, but
yeah, if I even did an acrylic front of mine, you'd have to look through a cage like this wide. So
speaking of a mirror, speaking of mirror in a box, Bobby recently did one and it has that dude mad at him because it's so heavy and so hard to mount.
The subs?
No, the mirror apparently or something. Or might be the enclosure itself has had to come in and out of his Scion like 4 times, and he's so mad it's so heavy.
It's pretty heavy, and I mean it'd be twice as heavy if it was MDF.
You should have made it out of all acrylic.
Yeah, that would have been real fucking heavy. I mean, the acrylic panel that goes on the back is like 112 pounds or something like that. But that doesn't have to be on for him to get it in and out of the car. But the box itself was
I'll read these comments.
240 pounds or something.
Yeah, inverted. You lose a little bit of effective cone area. That's why the super loud builds, like RPs or whatever, they're all like normal, but there's a lot less cooling. So like all of the demo builds are always motors in the big chamber or whatever because they can get fresh air easier.
Shit, Clippo did over a 180 with those
motors
12s. Motors out.
That's because there's a magic. There's a magic around that truck. His name is Chris Munson.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I totally would do all standard if I could. I just can't.
You're gonna
John asked if subs with motors up would
Bro, you're like 45 seconds late. I just answered that. Oh, that was what I was answering.
I didn't hear you say that.
Yeah, we were like 3 minutes of conversation.
Well, I'm sorry. I've been trying to read these comments.
Whenever I said that, mounting inverted loses a little bit of effective cone area.
Yeah,
that's
I was going to say
about.
I kind of agree with that a little bit.
It's accurate, but in a 6-order it doesn't matter because there's the rear chamber is ported.
Sorry, I must have drifted off. Sorry,
boy, Paw land over here.
No, I was just trying to read the comments. Y'all must have been answering it as I was reading it.
100% chance.
I don't think I noticed any difference with mine, at least on the meter, inverted versus standard.
Were you tracking power and score at the same time?
Has done something in his build where he's had his subs facing each way. I'm not 100% sure of that, but I think I remember seeing it with all motors in the middle of his tapped horn and with all cones in the tapped horn. If I'm not mistaken, he might have some good insight as to that for us with regards to his wild ass build.
I thought about doing some of them both ways because I could do the middle subs and all the front ones can go either way. The ones that are over the wheel wells have to go inverted.
Darian, I remember Darian when I went to CES for the first time.
What's up, Vegas?
He had his like that, right? He had the 2 rows on the outside that were motors out, and then the row down the center. He had the cones up.
Yeah,
I just thought it was really cool looking, and I always go back to that when I think about possibly doing that. I think of his build.
With a whole bunch of subs like you have, Steve, you could like hella randomly just have one inverted for no reason, and people be like, "Why is that like that?" And you're like, "So I want to fuck with people." Like, just one.
Mine aren't like a straight line either. Mine are kind of like staggered.
Yeah, they're a little staggered.
So I can never make it look that cool like Steve. You could, you could just put the 2 outer rows up and the center row down, and then it would all look nice.
Every time you rebuild a sub, you invert it from whatever it was, and that way you're like, which one is the one? Like, you're like, well, I knew that one blew.
I blew that one and that one.
Well, I did start taking it. I did start taping the motors and writing on there what happened to it. So I can
the last time I broke it.
Yeah, I write on there what happened to it.
But if after a while you reached a point where all of them were inverted, you're all definitely better this way.
No, I didn't.
Well, because every time I blew one, I did this.
I didn't find anything common reoccurring on anything. It's like everything's different.
Random.
Yeah, it's like, God, I can't even start figuring this thing out.
Did y'all see the drama after the show last week?
What?
No.
Whenever I said Greg's truck isn't a day late.
Yeah, you were joking. He was also joking
last week.
Everybody mad, bro.
I talked to him about it on Sunday, and he said that his post was just a joke as well.
Dude.
And I thought he was being serious. And,
everybody else thought he was being serious too, and they proceeded to drag my ass in the comments.
Yeah.
But every day this week, I asked him, "What'd you drive today?"
Yeah.
And no day has it been the truck yet.
There's a reason.
As bad as my knees hurt jumping in and out of my truck, I don't know how that guy does it.
He doesn't. That's the point.
No, he does. It's just I can't even say why he can't drive right now. So
because he can't. That's
because he hits stoplights.
Because he hits stoplights. Because Vegas said if you take down any more stoplights,
it's too tall.
It's too tall. You need a warning beacon.
Yeah.
Let me guess. An airplane hit him. An airplane hit it.
Get around bridges.
What's the difference between balanced inputs or unbalanced? This is a correct answer, but do you know why or how they reject noise?
That's probably why he's asking. I don't even know the difference. Tell me.
It's like magic. That's all it is.
They're just magic.
It's magic.
How about a real?
I know how it works, but I don't.
It's because you can.
Exactly. I don't understand it well enough to be confident in explaining it in a way that, like Tony can. Like I watched a video that Tony explaining it. In the most simple form, there's a left and a right balance input. Any signal that is not in the left or left and right signal is rejected. Or no, anything that is common of the left and right signal, like say there'd be static in both channels, it'll be rejected. So if you have interference that's running through the RCAs in the left and right channel, the balance input will reject it at the end. So it won't play it.
Cool.
But I'd have to look back up how it works. Yeah. So you know how you get like engine whine in vehicles? It's in the left and right channel basically every time. Balanced inputs would get rid of that because it'd be signal that is common of left and right. It would get rid of it.
Okay. That makes sense.
Don't a lot of things have balanced inputs, and why does everything make goddamn engine noise?
Nothing in car audio has balanced inputs.
Why not? Fix it.
Well,
let's just go optical. Normally they look like big quarter inch jacks. They're big usually.
Yeah, I think RCAs is definitely something we could go away from and use.
This if you want to learn more about balanced inputs, go watch Tony DeMoore's video on YouTube. He explains it far better than I do. That's how I made a post about this.
Get balanced inputs on our products now. How do we do that?
You don't. We go optical because it's 2022.
But even when you have fucking optical, we still get noise sometimes.
Can't have noise if it's optical. Can't.
Well, I mean, most like the German cars and stuff are all optical. They don't use like any other type of signal besides optical, right? Mercedes, Beamers. Mm-hmm. So I remember tearing a couple apart and being like, "The hell am I going to do with this shit?" So, when you take the
every RCA car audio is unbalanced.
Yeah, we're definitely doing optical in your build, Byron.
Oh, opticals. So there's the issue is there's not that many optical head units.
Yeah,
the Stinger High 10 and
I have a tiny bit Like it is barely fucking there noise in my truck, and I have optical from the head unit
into an audio control DSP.
Yeah.
I mean, there's only one thing that's taking noise at that point.
DSP.
I wonder why I wasn't charging.
What's that?
He said, "I wonder why I wasn't charging."
The damn charger wasn't plugged up.
Well, this dude is so popular.
Man, I lost all my wine whenever I decided to finally separate my truck from the audio, like the highs and stuff. I just took it off the base. Like they're completely separated.
So your mids and highs are with your car.
That winds its ass off,
and it doesn't wind that way.
Mm-mm.
It whined when it was connected with the base.
Huh. Yeah, the all the big ass.
Are you talking about the van?
Yeah, both. I separated the truck, man. That's one of the last things I've done.
So it's on a separate battery and a separate alternator.
Yeah, the head unit and the door amps.
That's how I had the Explorer forever.
12 volt now, and some excess power AGMs and a high output factory alternator, and then the engine, and then all the base shit is on its own.
What's XLR? Is that an audio connection?
Yeah, it's a type of audio connection. So traditional balanced is either XLR or.
What's XLR look like?
I'm trying to think if I have one.
Excuse me.
Like a plug. Like for once the Max isn't in here because it has many XLR plugs.
You know, Steve, I had my Explorer wired that way, and I had no real noise at all. Zero. Just
I don't
stock side ran the mids and highs with a small battery, and then
the van's that way too.
Side is completely separate.
The only problem is that like I'm draining those little batteries I have up there like really quick with those big ass amps I have.
Okay.
That's
familiar. That'd be kind of cool, huh? Little XLR plug on the side of your fucking amp. Plug that shit in.
What's the benefit of using that versus a regular?
It'd be balanced, but you would have to have a your source and receiver would have to be balanced.
Balanced
output.
Hmm.
Yep, or just run optical.
Yeah, optical into the amps. That'd be kind of fun.
That's how I mean, there's no like big bass amps that do that, but that's how my one of my amps in my white truck is optical in from the other amps optical out.
Let me see if I could find this one audio player.
Epicenter.
Now that I know how they work, they're a little cooler. I still think they're kind of gimmicky, but now that I know how they work, the idea makes sense.
You know, there's certain music that they work pretty well on, but man, it's really easy to fry the shit out of your subwoofers.
Yeah, I mean, if you're playing anything that isn't reggae or something like that, you don't need it. Spanish music, whatever. You know, anything that primarily has high bass, because it just takes whatever bass it is and drops it an octave. I think it's an octave.
Casey, Drew says you're mad about how heavy the box is.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of the Austin amps have optical in. Yeah, that's great, but Austin doesn't make it 10K. So what am I gonna do with that? How am I supposed to float a baby with a 1,000 watt amp? Come on, bro.
Float a baby.
I'm trying to float Steven in my window.
All right, I'm going to share this real quick. If I can get it up here. Okay. Have you seen one of these before, Drew?
Yeah. So they're not actually no, they're pretty common in like super high end sound quality vehicles. Chris paid like $1,000 one in the Civic.
Yeah, I've got a connect to get these at quite a discount.
What's crazy is like the SQ vehicles are using like 3.5 millimeter output.
These will like basically if you get rid of your head unit, you could use optical or whatever, and then just basically have one of these as your source to a DSP, and then you could just I guess that still doesn't really solve the balanced input issue.
I mean, but
for your amplifier.
I mean, at that point, the DSP
optical.
should be close enough to the amps that doesn't matter. There shouldn't be a chance to pick up noise at that point.
So, but if you're running optical, and then I guess from the DSP, so you're running optical from that to the DSP and the DSP RCAs to the deck, right? Yeah. So until all amps until DSPs have optical outs to amps.
Well, most DSPs have optical in and out. The issue is head units don't have it out, and then amps don't have it in, because that would require a whole nother layer of circuitry. I mean, I think just between head unit and DSP would be fine. I mean, that's already more than most people do anyway, even having DSP. But
then you could create from the DSP, you could have balanced outs that plug in with like a
you could
plug. And that would be pretty awesome.
I'm doing a tablet to Bluetooth to RCA module and DSP in the Civic. That's what Scott said. Yeah, that's actually what I was just thinking. Like, if you did a high quality Bluetooth, like hell, some DSPs you can Bluetooth straight to it, and then boom, you have no chance for noise at that point.
That's kind of what I'm doing with Explorer, but not Bluetooth. It's just iPad straight to DSP, wired. And then DSP to cock boxes.
Yeah, Nick had my brother had pretty bad whine in his Volkswagen, and we could not get rid of it. So he just ended up just getting a DSP that had Bluetooth and just Bluetoothing straight to the DSP. Now there's not a lick of noise in the whole vehicle. Dead silent.
I guess Bluetooth probably came a long ways, because years ago, I mean, when I first built the Explorer 6-7 years ago, we just
it was pooped in.
Bluetooth. It was just
Bluetooth was
like
terrible.
Built-in shit.
Yeah, no, it's as long as you have a pretty modern and quality Bluetooth receivers. Most of them have brand new phones or new-ish phones, so they have what's called LDAC for Bluetooth streaming, and it's better than CD quality.
What's a balanced 4.4 plug look like?
I believe that's the
4. Realistically, I think balanced
4.4 plug.
A 4.4 millimeter.
That's like what you just had in your hand, right?
No, that was 1/4 inch.
Yeah.
So that's a 4.4 right there.
It's like the little one that goes into headphones.
That's crazy. That's like just old ass technology, but it does a better job at
noise rejection. Mm-hmm. Yep. Pro audio has been ahead of car audio for a very long time.
I mean, that would be waste. RCA cables are fucking fragile, man.
Dude, I don't know how people break I've never ever broken an RCA, not once.
Well, I haven't like just I broke this. It's like people mush them with their foot or some shit. I mean, and like
they're not consistent. It's part of the problem if you have a lot of them, and then trying to actually figure out which one's the one that's fucked up. I can tell you how many times, like, honestly, the ones that always work the best for me, but the cheap ones that had the center pin you could split as well as have the.
That's what I had to do at Slam last year. I had to split all my center pins. Yeah, because they were like losing signal.
Yeah, because they don't make good contact. So I'd open mine really wide. Mm-hmm. Have to really shove them in, and then crimp your negative leads on the outside around the RCA. Like
yeah, I've had to like squeeze the outside negative sometimes, but and that's normally with the cheaper RCAs, like the Tahoe and the Duramax. I use Stinger, like the high end Stinger stuff. I've never had an issue.
I really like Jake's RCAs, the high end Sundown ones, because those have his the center pin have the top is split 4 ways. You just stick a razor blade in there, and you can open it up a tiny bit, and they're good and strong. And
that's what I run in the van.
How do you set gains to Bluetooth? Like you set gains with anything else?
Yeah, because Bluetooth is not vindictive to your output voltage. I mean,
you're using
if you're going to always play, if you're always going to play Bluetooth, definitely set them that way.
Or you just do what Steven and I do and run so much power. It doesn't matter where you set your amps. You're not going to clip. That's the secret. That's the secret to a demo build. You run so much power that it'll never be dirty. There it is.
Yeah. Teaching people how to operate their fucking audio system is like
that's
such a huge part of my job.
We had this conversation a few times. That's issue with like Price in his truck. He just never takes time to play it, and that's kind of even with Steven's van, like he plays it at shows, but think about how much time you spent in the white truck playing it, not at a show.
Yeah,
hours and hours and hours a week. You got to really learn how the system works. In the van, you only play it at a show, so I mean, you never get a chance to really learn what it likes.
And I'm not even in it.
Yep.
No,
exactly.
You should be able to do like tuning process and without even listening to music for the most part go, I know that if I turn it up this loud, it'll take it. And if I go higher, I am at risk.
So that's kind of my plan. Whenever we tune it with the tweak, I'm gonna get him the knob that changes colors, and I'm gonna give him some colors. Be like, all right, when this button is green, you can turn everything all the way up, and it won't break. When it's yellow, you got to babysit it. When it's red, you're yeeting these motherfuckers. Be gentle.
Well, I don't feel like I've ever had a problem as far as mechanically breaking it, like suspension.
Oh yeah, because sometimes subs are almost impossible to mechanically break.
I just have to watch the temperature. That's pretty much all I have to worry about watching.
And that's
Didn't
why
you say
green
you
will
had
be
a
safe.
temp sensor in the truck.
Yeah, I do. I have them both, but
what's the temp you're looking for? Like, where do you have to stop?
Below 400. Below 400.
No, the truck's below 300. The van usually I'm trying to stay below 200. But the van,
that's like impossible.
It'll shoot from like 190 to like 260 in like 3 seconds.
Mine, so ever since I got everything dialed in, I remember I used to be able to go from idle, like fresh in the day, to 200 degrees in less than 30 seconds. Now I played it for a local stereo guy today who stopped. He builds like trunk cars and stuff, but he stopped by the demo spot while shooting those videos. I'd already shot like 3 videos, and so I mean everyone kind of warm. He gets in, I let it rip for like half of Hypnotize, whatever it was, and I was like full video, like full volume you saw in the video. I got to like 160, 165 after half a song.
And also, I've never double checked that sensor to make sure it's reading right. Like ideally,
you could be like, I'm doing okay, and like you're just repeatedly it's all 450. You're all fuck.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it'd be nice.
Get one of those fancy ones and check that shit's right.
So
what do you have? What are you using? Like one of the
Demore. So Demore VCI 2.
No, not the van.
Oh, you got the one Roth made.
Roth made me one for the van.
There's another company coming out with one. That's what the guy was at the house earlier talking. That was one thing he was talking to me about was their voice coil sensor they're making.
So
I never
there are
used
voice coil sensors that are readily available right now.
I don't know.
Everyone will tell you to go to Josh Lind. I've seen a couple of them, but I haven't seen them like readily available. But a local company to me is working on one. That's one thing he was showing me, and they're gonna have one for me to prototype in like a month, and they want me to test it on mine because I have three voice coil sensors here. But it's a good thing it came over because they were developing like a universal bracket, and I said, "Well, have you tried to put that on a sundown sub? Because like the gap is super not TI basket." And he's like, "Well, no." So when it showed him how like the gap on a sundown sub is like that, he was like, "Oh, we're gonna have to figure something out for that."
If mine were I'd be okay with just using the temp gun, but like I said, I don't have that option.
I love the idea of a wireless bass knob, but I want to test on something that's beyond safe first.
So I talked to Zach a lot.
Bobby, like, where's my bass knob?
Yeah. Oh fuck.
True. I'm good friends with Zach, so we talk all the time. So as this thing's been developed, he's been sending me pictures and talking all about it. So I would 100% use it. It's really cool the way it works. It's not the signal. The Bluetooth is not controlling the signal at all. All it's doing is controlling the board to tell what volume it needs to be at.
Yeah.
The board is still doing all the signal. So you don't have to worry about lossless signal or any of that shit. It works basically just like a TV remote does. When you turn your volume up, it's going to do the same thing. It's going to tell the board to send more voltage out. So I think they're awesome.
No, I mean, like I said, I want to try one, but like I would try like the Nitro, something that is super, super. I mean, even the Tahoe now, like I would try it on the Tahoe. Something that I wouldn't. That's something that's safe, and that's not saying anything bad about his product. I love his knobs; it does great work. It's just new things like that. I ease into them, especially whenever they fully control a system.
I would find that thing in my fucking refrigerator after looking for it for a week. I'd be all. There's the bass knob, motherfucker. And then it'd be like next to my bed.
Dude, how long until someone steals one and turns someone's system up as they walk away with it?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I just always have
fingerprint scanner on the knob.
I never really keep a separate knob because
no. It'd be like you know how like people have those chains that connect their wallet. You just put like a chain on it and connect it to your center console. Or you screw it
connected to you like you do with your wallet.
Yeah, that's it. You carry it in your pocket and you got a chain hanging out and shit.
Like you plan on in your dash? Steve?
Me?
Yeah.
What?
Well, he has a full steel interior like the van.
So you have a reason to have a separate bass knob because you're going to be holding. Right.
I'm just going to be holding basically a dual knob, one for bass, one for mids and highs.
Okay, so you're going to have it. You're just going to set the head unit down somewhere?
He's not having a head unit. He's iPad straight to DSP.
Oh, that's right. You said you're running an iPad.
Yeah, iPad, DSP, all that shit will just be in the back, and then I'll just have 15-foot fucking wire with 2 knobs on it, basically.
Oh,
yes. Those are called transients, and that's normal.
Yeah, I would love to get to something like that, man, because holding that heavy-ass thing all the time, that's what kind of drags me down at the end of the day.
Bro, imagine driving to a show and leaving your bass knob at the house.
Oh, that would be the worst.
That's what I'm talking about. I'd be like, honey,
I took it in because I wanted to clean it and I forgot it on the.
I was taking pictures of it on the counter and I left it and I found it. It's in the refrigerator.
We'll go back and get it. Not 4 hours away.
You definitely would need to have like a keychain loop on it or something to put on your.
That's always my biggest fear when I'm leaving the house for a long trip. Like I make sure I have the keys to whatever vehicle's on my trailer.
Me too.
Every time.
Huh, Steve?
Yeah, I know. To like one of the best people I could give a demo to, and I didn't.
And he couldn't start his engine. We had to connect.
Good, though.
Yeah, no, it worked out good. We connected 2 sets of jumper cables from the Green Monster to Steve's truck, and we used the Green Monster's batteries and alternators to run Steve's truck, but only after we had already drained Steve's batteries down really low first. So then we were
trying to dump all the current through some.
Dude, we had 2 sets of big, heavy jumper cables, and those connectors were hot as fuck.
Ooh, I have a story about lithium and jumper cables. I'll tell you in a second.
Yeah.
He said, Chris said, can I wire 40 amp hour SS power cells in my Cyber 12K? If by wire them in, you mean like a 6S bank, then yes, technically, because LTO will work from like 13 volts to 16.5 or whatever. So the voltage will work. If you're talking like individual cells, then no, that won't work.
Let's see. A 6S bank will float at 14.
Yeah, like I said, it'll.
Yeah, I mean, you will not be getting the usage out of the LTO bank like you want to. You'd be better off ditching the Cyber 12K.
Yeah, and fully like going like 15 with the LTO.
16,
but Nick used, so we've tested all of our voltage ranges at this point with LTO. Nick used it in his Mini Cooper at 13.8, charging 13.8 with a 7500, and it did great.
It'll do fine. It just kills its cycle life. But
I mean, by the time we hit LTO cycle life, it's 10 years from now. I mean,
exactly. That's the thing. Like
it's like
you
10,000 cycles or something.
Life, but you're not even going to own the car long enough to fucking see it. So that's why the JP bass knob doesn't have a battery. You can't lose it. It's always just to be plugged in.
I think that idea is really good, even if you have to plug it in, because like for Brandy's Explorer, everything's in the back. I have no reason to run anything to the front.
What does he mean? Like, you plug it in, like
the wireless bass knob that some of the JPMs come with, you have to plug it into power.
So it's not wireless.
No,
that's retarded.
Well, that's so stupid.
I don't think they call it wireless. I think they call it Bluetooth. But no, I see the use case in it. Like
I get that, but no.
Yeah,
like 12-volt source. So you have to.
No, you plugged it like USB.
Okay.
But what's the USB plugged into though?
Cigarette lighter
or some shit.
Yeah, or like a USB in your dash.
That.
No, I mean, I also think I think the whole thing kind of silly, but I see the point. Like a new charger, everything is in the trunk, battery and everything. You have no reason to go to the front.
If you can't take your fucking car apart,
I'm with you. I'm
goddamn signal.
I'm just pointing out the use case.
I get it. That shit's dumb.
Nothing. It would work. It would work, especially if you drive the vehicle more than like once a month. It'd be fine.
Oh, they're the same chemistry. They float the same. No problem there.
Well, there's like the whole you have to isolate different types of lithium chemistry.
Well,
come on, that's not that serious.
You don't have to per se, but then you're not getting the full potential of one or the other because they don't float the same. They don't, just like
they won't charge the same. So even once the isolation is broken, vehicle started, they're still not going to work the same because they're different chemistries. The best bet is just to remove one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Except for AGM and LiPo, I mean, those are so close that if you're a daily, you could just run those together. I mean,
well, I was referring more to the charge rate than anything, but so back to the jumper cable and lithium story.
He said he brought it from 2.6, man. We can beat that.
Oh, I've had Cyber 12Ks at fucking 0.
We had a
0 fucking volts.
1 volt, right?
That was my story. So we had a 480 amp hour LTO bank and 10 banks of caps at 0. We were across the country.
We didn't have the key either. We had
Steven's white truck
restaurant to open to get the key back.
No, Steven's white truck. So we went to go take the black truck to go get jumper cables or like just a front battery to start the truck, something. And the keys to the Duramax were gone, lost, couldn't find them. Where were we? Where were we?
I want to say that was at
How did you create that many clusterfucks all at once?
Somebody left all 7 7500s on overnight.
And what was it? Just caps, or there was batteries too?
No, it was 480 amp hour bank of LTO and 10 banks of caps.
Those case 80 amp hour batteries back there.
Yeah, that's scary.
So we ended up having to separate the truck from the rear banks. We jump started the truck itself, got it running, hooked up. How did we do it?
We put it on.
We separated. Basically separated the electrical, so it was one big system.
We turned the voltage regulator all the way down on the Fat Boy.
We separated the system so that the alternators were only charging the rear stuff, and we would slowly, we would turn on the regulator for like a minute.
No, we were alternating alternators one by one to keep them from burning up. We would turn one on for about 2 or 3 minutes, turn it off, then turn the other one on, and turn it back off.
Because the bank was at nothing, 0.
Dude, that's that's super dangerous.
We know.
You surprised you guys didn't at least slowly jump those up with a little AGM or something.
We couldn't. Anything. We didn't have anything.
No, but because they had such a big ass bank, they weren't dumping that much current if they were doing one alternator at a time.
Yeah, relative to how big
if it was only like an 80 amp bank, then an alternator going in would be way too much. But 480 amp hours, they were only seeing a little bit each.
And the LTO
just killing the alts.
We know how low that Fat Boy goes, but we had it all the way down.
And the LTO wasn't even taking the hit. There were 10 banks of super cap, so those were taking the hit because those will pull power faster pull in faster than LTO will.
Yeah,
I remember when I charged my caps.
But there was nothing. There was nothing responsible about it, Steve.
Oh, there was nothing responsible about the whole situation. The lost Duramax keys, just the whole situation was just not good. I don't know who let us out the house that weekend, but they shouldn't have.
It's one of those.
Hey, remember that time you had a cap blow up in the truck? That was a good time.
Yeah. Blue
boxes. I've been so fortunate. I have not had many issues.
Don't blame the blue boxes, bro. My blue boxes are mint.
I would much rather have an amplifier on fire than a battery.
Oh, all day, every day.
Dude, my batteries at that show in my amp cot were, I don't know, a few demos away from also catching. Well, I couldn't even touch them anymore. And I actually called Travis. He was like, "You got to stop." Yeah, the battery, like the bars, everything was so hot. I couldn't touch the batteries. It's like,
well, that kind of happened to
if those run, you're gonna be fucked.
I'm not gonna name the shop that did it.
Like literally, the fire would go on for a week. You'd put it out, fire'd be out, be like, "I'm gonna be on fire again." Again.
So I'm not gonna name the shop that did it, but a shop did a big build and they built custom bars for the battery bank, and they used like 1/8-inch material.
Oh no!
Built big fuses.
Fucking draw so much current that melted.
It started a fire. I mean, luckily they put it out, but I was like, can't do that, buddy. And then
I think we have I think it's 3/8, right? That sound about right. It's 3/8 that is on my cap bank, the bars.
I think so.
No, they've got to be thicker than that. Well,
it may be
just maybe are they the little like 8, like the ones that look like 8s?
The dog bones?
No, it's a full bar that connects the cells together from one end to the other. They're like 2 foot long.
So whenever I went lithium originally, way back, I went to a local fire department and asked, like, "Hey, what can I do if there's a lithium fire?" He said, "Oh, well, we normally do. We just throw whatever it is on a piece of concrete and just let it kind of have at it." I was like, "All right, what if it's like a 200 amp hour lithium battery?" He said, get away from it." I was like, "It's gonna be my vehicle." He said, have good insurance." Okay, cool, thanks.
Fire blankets will actually do a really good job. Cut the oxygen away from the electrolyte and stuff.
Yeah, it'll keep the fire, but it's not gonna stop the reason for the fire.
It's not gonna stop it from running away. You're never gonna stop it from running away once it starts, but you can stop it from catching on fire. At least catching the whole car on fire. That, and then the there's like an electrical grade fire extinguisher you can buy too, but they're pretty expensive.
I mean, I've seen AGMs blow up, so it's whatever.
Right. So, okay, cool. We have, fucking 6 Cyber 12Ks. I mean, that's like having 10 big ass 100-pound plus AGMs.
More than that.
It's just as fucking dangerous. It's so much energy that if you create a short, you're fucking melting things and fires happening. It's just an immense amount of energy in a tiny little box. It's gonna have a danger level, and
car audio builds have been burning down way before lithium. They've been burning down forever.
At Owens, Pioneer truck burned down.
Every time I see a video of some guy's shit burning down, I just wonder, man, when are they gonna start putting rules down on stuff like what we're doing?
The no fuse guys drive me fucking bonkers, man. And they're like, "Oh, our fucking fuse. That's all right. That fucking, it's like a loss.
Creates resistance.
Resistance. Yeah. It's not significant."
I guarantee you, anyone saying that fuses cause resistance or anything like that, they're not loud enough for that resistance to matter, and they never will be. So
because they're not.
I said what I said.
To understand.
Yeah, unless you're like Carlos or Alan or those guys chasing.
Well, yeah, but that's
every little thing. But yeah, for us,
that's different. That's not
fuse your shit.
I mean, I don't fuse between like battery and amp. There's no reason for that. But like main runs.
I
would love to see I would pay Carlos to be like, "All right, we're gonna put a big heavy duty fuse block in your shit in front of all your amps, and then you take the motherfucker."
Carlos runs fuses, if I remember correctly. He does already. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Be like, show me if it gains.
Not running them.
Not running
them. Yeah.
Well, but if it doesn't, then anytime anybody ever argues, "Nah, bro, that is fucking."
No, it won't matter to argue. That's like Joe Price went from all CCA in the van originally. When it won the first death matches was all CCA. He switched to OFC because everyone swore he would gain.
And he gained nothing.
Nothing. Zero. Not a thing.
Every build that I have helped with at Sky High Car Audio,
CCA.
All CCA.
Because if you work within the limits of the wire, just like OFC, you'll never have an issue. You'll never run into resistance or an issue. That's like the Nitro's all CCA. And I posted a picture of the amp rack, the amps have a single 0 gauge input, power and ground. So that's what I put in there. And people are like, oh, well, if you ran OFC, you could use less wire. How?
Ray Pimley busted his ass to change out all of his wire from CCA
for
to OFC.
nothing.
He gained fucking nothing. He gained nothing. He was like, that was a fucking shitload of work and money that I could have bought another fucking 3.5K because that's what he was running at the time.
Shit. Sorry.
You don't even need to run double. The Nitro is running the exact amount you can run. No more, no less. It's running a single wire into each amp and 2 runs 0 gauge front to back. That's exactly what you would do in the alternator with OFC. No different.
I just base my shit off the wires rating. Just go by that. So I have Geico for my demo build, and it's insured up to like 35,000.
What do you use?
Geico.
Really?
I've State Farm. It's like
Geico, and I have insured for
it's a lot. I don't remember the exact amount.
When I get the Green Monster operational again, I'll put special insurance on. It's a good idea.
And it wasn't expensive. I think I pay like fucking $60.
Don't even say it. Don't even say it out loud. I don't want to hear it. Don't even say it out loud, bro.
Why?
My insurance every month would make grown men throw up.
Well, my Explorer is also considered like a not really a non-drivable vehicle, but they have a classification where it's a car.
You get homeowners insurance.
It's called like a weekend cruiser or something like that. So it's a little bit different. It's less expensive than it would be if it was a daily driver.
No, I was saying that because Louisiana is the highest car insurance rate in the country.
Is that right?
I'm over. Really? So we have 4 vehicles, maybe 5. 2 of them, 2 of them just liability only, and it's like $550 a month.
Holy shit! Yeah, that's up there. I pay like, dude, Vegas it's not much here. It's like $600. It's like $1,200 a year or some bullshit.
So raw oxygen-free copper that like looks like copper is just that. It's just copper, but copper will corrode at a hyper fast rate, just like CCA, because CCA is copper-clad aluminum, so it's copper on the outside. Non-tinned copper, like OFC, will corrode at the exact same rate as CCA because they're both copper on the outside, normally connecting to aluminum. So, same corrosion rate. Tinned copper uses a tinning material over the copper to limit corrosion.
Yes.
The tin to hold its shape too, like when you twist it and go to put it in something, like the bare copper just puffs back out. It's kind of difficult.
Yeah, I have noticed that actually.
I agree. It is
you can kind of smash the tin a little
bit. Yeah, it'll kind of hold its shape
on a little bit better. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm sure you've all used at some point like the super nice silver tinned like Kicker and Rockford and all that wire.
Yes.
Well, that stuff's nice, but I don't know if it's worth $8 a foot.
No. But it's nice. That's all I got.
It's real nice. It's real nice.
Yeah.
Like the Nitro is probably going to switch to that, but
yeah, it ain't going to cost you $8 a foot.
I mean, if it's $7.45, I'd be happy at least. You know what I'm saying? That's a discount.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen, let's talk about some your key ideas for monster demo builds. Like what are some of the most important things? Maybe 3 or 5 items each of us can rattle off.
Strength. Just in general. Strength. Enclosure strength, cabin strength, electrical strength. Strength in your heart because you're going to be so sad all the time working on this shit.
All the fucking time. Look at Steve. He's crying. He's wiping
his he started just thinking about working on the van like,
fucking God damn it.
Back strength.
And then Steve and I are bringing 2 vehicles to shows across the country talking about.
Yeah.
I think like a proper demo list of songs is a good one.
That's absolutely important. If you I intend to make a specific playlist for the Bloodbath for SEMA because Allison and maybe a little bit of help from Brett, one of my technicians, they'll be operating the bloodbath most of the time at SEMA if we're able to play, because I'll be running the Raiden truck. And I just want to like make a bunch of songs and be like, here's your fucking 15, 20 songs that this thing plays killer, and fucking volume level 30 and bass knob all the way up and fucking smile. And if it smells like subwoofers, turn it down 3 clicks and it doesn't matter. It'll blow hair tricks all fucking day.
That's what I did for Slam this year. Like I'm sure a lot of people knows I didn't demo Tahoe at all.
Yeah. Nick was
I let Nick demo it, Maggie, basically whoever. There's USB in there. Anything on the USB, volume 36, bass knob all the way up. Just go until you run out of gas. It'll be all right.
Yeah, I think that's super important.
And obviously, that safe volume now is way louder than it used to be. So excited about that.
I think I touched on this last week a little bit. Is electrical.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, big demo builds, any demo build. If you want a demo for a long period of time, you're gonna have to have a stout electrical system. Like, don't spend twice as much on your electrical as you think you should, and you'll be good for a long time. Like that.
Yeah, I mean, if you plan on sitting, demoing, go ahead and just get a power supply. Go and get a big one. That way, whenever you're not demoing, you can turn the vehicle off, let everything cool down, and you'll just keep charging. It's like I have a 100 amp for the Tahoe now, so whenever we stop demoing, because no matter how big your alternator setup is, you're going to outrun it with how big our amps are these days. Yeah. So you'd have to sit for an hour, revving to get it to recharge. Or you just turn everything off, let the 100 amp power supply do its thing for 20 minutes.
And your amps get cool, and your alts get cool, and your engine gets cool, and everything.
Yeah, I mean, when your alts get
shut down, and you like walk off, the doors are open, and the fucking heat's coming out of that damn thing.
But it's charging.
You run a fan through there, and it's sitting there charging, and that's a good idea. I like that a lot.
So I have a right now I have a single 100 amp with I got an Anderson connector underneath the front bumper, so I just reach in there, plug it into my generator will power my 100 amp power supply and all the fans and stuff if there's no power available. Nice. Absolutely.
It looks like DS18 makes like a 220 amp power supply. It's kind of expensive, but it's a monster.
I would rather not.
It's like a 30 amp 110 circuit it needs or some shit.
Excess power makes a 90 amp. That's really awesome. I have a brand X on there right now. From SEMA last year, the ones that
mine just blew
I
up.
screwed myself on that one. I didn't keep one of those.
Mine just exploded earlier, by the way.
What, your brand X power supply?
Yeah,
dude. How? I've had the one.
I just plugged it in and it just went boom and started.
I have one that I've been using. It's been rained on. Got covered in oil once. It's still going.
So try covering it in oil, Steve.
That's the ticket.
No, I just literally
put motor oil on it, pee on it, spray it with a hose, and try it again.
Yeah. Like a excess power set a 90 amp for prices Tahoe, but the issue is like the 12 volt setting is only 14.8 volts. Not that high enough, but the 14 volt setting is like 16.8, which is too high.
I did notice when I had that plugged in though, I had some bad like background noise. So
yeah, it's introducing a lot of AC current into the system.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of it being in the vehicle while I was playing. No,
I only use mine when the vehicle's off. That way, nothing's dealing with the AC current. Yeah, I mean, because
those two Sound Digital 100 amp power supplies that I had hooked up to the Bloodbath last year at SEMA, I could run that thing and it didn't make a peep through the audio system.
That's how the excess power ones are. They're super super clean. But the 90 amp power supply is like $700.
The one I had at Slam this year just had some. It was scaring me, like the noise that was coming through.
And you're like, that's gonna fucking fry something. Like your
dude, that's what happened.
Shit off.
I melted one of my
full
alternators.
Throttle makes a really nice one too, but it's pricey.
I broke one of my alternators again, and I have the part to fix it. I just haven't fixed it, but when it's on, there's so much AC current flowing through the system that stuff in the truck stops working. Like. I was like, okay, I need to go ahead and just unplug this one. This is not good.
Bobby, what year is your Green Monster?
It's 2001.
I was going to say 03. Shit.
Okay, it's the same year as mine, my Explorer, and you had no issues running that thing close to 16 volts?
I mean, I was nervous.
But you
like in the morning, like if I would be like, oh, I'm gonna drive the Green Monster to the shop today, and I'm all do, and I'd start it up, and it's all and I look down at the voltage, and it's all pegged at 16 on the S, and I'm like, oh no, I'm like turning on the audio system, and I'm all like getting out of the neighborhood, and like I'm fucking railing on it to try to pull the voltage down a little bit. I was freaking
I
out.
should probably care more than I do.
You were more worried about the card or the audio system?
Yeah, the car.
The ECU. Yeah, I about the ECU.
Yeah, I was worried about
that's what I'm worried about. So like my stock
it's a 014 Ford. What you get another one? Be all right.
I guess, but that's a pain in the ass.
I mean, I didn't not run it. I'm like, oh, but I know that when it was charging a little on the extra side, when it was nice and cool, I would definitely light off that audio system and try to pull that voltage down a bit.
That's another thing with the white truck that I'm leery about. I think that is because it has this mist that I can't get rid of, no matter how many times I change coils. And I suspect it may be from running higher voltage. That I just don't know if I've done something to that.
It's not fixed?
No.
Does it like jump? Is it jumping on you like between like certain gears and stuff?
No. It's like a dead miss sometimes.
It's like it'll be running and then it'll just start missing. It's like an electrical miss. And
because I know my buddy.
Sometimes it's not. It's like kind of caused by bass because I was driving it. To the mall or something, and I leaned into the bass like real hard playing Hypnotize, and it felt like the truck went into neutral. And I'm like,
it'll throw it in a limp mode.
I was like, the fuck is that? And
throw it in limp mode. I bet.
Yeah, it's full limp mode. You have to stop and turn it off.
My Explorer would do that, and it came down to just being the fuse in the fuse box was just old, and it was just loose enough where I basically just had to put a new fuse in there.
You know what? I bet it could be a motor ground, like to the firewall or something.
Yeah, and your firewall's all ripped apart. And
that makes sense.
Down there, add a bunch of grounds.
I checked the fuse first. I actually took it to 2 different shops.
Which fuse? Like a main battery fuse?
Yeah.
No, it was like a 15 amp fuse that controlled a sensor for the transmission. So when it went out, it threw it in limp mode because it thought something was wrong with the transmission. It actually happened to me when I was driving to a show.
That's a good thought, man.
Down the road. So yeah, it was like I said, it took 2 shops. In the last shop, it's like, dude, we were on this thing for 4 or 5 hours, and the last thing we checked was we were just.
I hope it's the fucking last thing you checked.
I was just about to say, I hope it was last, bro.
Motherfucker,
you better stop charging me.
Hey, we fixed it, and then we fixed it at an hour and a half in, and we couldn't find anything else after that.
we got another 4 hours in it, but
we had 4 hours in it, but about an hour.
Something else.
We found this loose fuse and replaced it, but that totally fixed it. So
dude, yeah, I hate electrical issues. I had an issue in the Duramax where if I changed the AC fan speed, the truck would lose communication with the transmission. It's a good time. That was a fun one to find. That was horrible.
That's not wireless.
No, I don't want a base car. That's my daily.
The firewall on the Green Monster flexes so violently that it does something to the brake fucking booster and.
Oh yeah, Dunkin says that.
The fucking brakes don't work when I'm basing. Like I hit the brakes and there's like barely any pedal, and it like when I'm like, ooh, it slows down a little bit.
Yeah, but
I turn that bass knob down and give it 2 pumps, and all the brakes are there, and I'm like, ooh, and I'm like, oh my god.
I always wonder how much
pound fucking truck, and I'm like fucking going down the road beating. I'm like, I'm the shit. I'm pounding Bobby Gately, blah blah blah, Green Monster. I'm like, the brakes don't work. Like 5:45 in the afternoon on Auburn Boulevard in Sac. That motherfucker's back. Oh my god, I thought people were gonna die. Yeah.
If you ever watch that brake reservoir shake, you just wonder how many air bubbles you're putting into that fluid.
Oh yeah,
maybe working its way through
the foam. It's foam.
See, Dunkin's truck had the other issue. When under full load, all the alternators on, the truck just will not move.
No,
like if you turn it up, and you could floor it, and the truck would just be like, no. Like we were pulling onto the strip in Vegas, and he ripped on it, and we just didn't. We just started slowing down. He had to turn down to get us to.
Oh, you thought the truck was off? I mean, I remember it was like, "Is the truck on?" It's like I'm pushing the gas, but nothing's happening here.
Yep.
Hey,
external regulation, baby.
When we were at the showdown, We were at the showdown, and I was on like the 7th or 8th floor of Texas Station, and I heard bass and fucking looked out the window naked and was like, Dunkin's truck going down the fucking road right there.
So at that point,
like, damn.
There's a very old 5.3 with headers, like a decent amount of work done and no tune. So it was just not having a good time.
How many alts are on it?
3.
Really? That 5.3 couldn't turn the fucker over? That's crazy.
How many 5.3s have you seen with triple full external regulation 390s though? None can turn it. 0. None.
Yeah.
Well, it's like Andrew's got his 7 alternators, but they can never run at the same time. It runs 3 at a time, and it tracks how hot they are, and it cycles through them.
That's fancy.
It's fucking cool. It is way cool.
Andrew's got some cool stuff in that Suburban.
Yeah, that thing sounds good too.
It's good.
Yeah, he knocked it out the park with that thing, man. I was just unreal how the attention to detail. You know what I mean? Just sitting in there looking around, I'm like, wow, because I know what it takes to do something like that. It's just the time. I don't got that kind of time.
Really hard on it.
You do have that kind. You could have that type of time if you hired a foreman.
Oh man, can't trust people these days.
Steve said he'll come work for you right now, bud.
Yeah, instead of paying the foreman, just spend that money to have somebody else build your build and just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah. So instead of $100K a year for a foreman, just send Bobby $100K a year to build your vehicle every year.
Yeah, build your shit. There you go.
I'll build you a new one every year. Give me $100K a year.
I'll say he'll even provide the vehicle.
No, I won't.
Just come pick it up once a year.
He's getting a 92 Civic every year.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Maybe a 92. The price is getting too high for 92.
Yeah,
you get 99.
Dude, I saw one of those earlier today. It was sick as fuck. I was like, damn, that car looks dope. Fucking shit ass Civic right now. I'm like, I bet that guy thinks it's worth $5,000.
It's probably 20.
On those CRX pages I'm on, man, every one of those things are like $20,000.
Really?
Dude, you could get an absolute fortune for your car. 100%.
What car?
Dude, there's got to be a car you could
big
buy
turbo
right now
CRX.
10 years is going to be worth that.
Shit.
Well, I mean, it doesn't run, but it could.
That's okay. I have a Subaru with no engine. I built 3 of them. They all blew up. So I'll stick this.
His one blew up. He has I think it's an actually imported JDM motor with a big ass turbo on it.
Damn, that's gangster.
Nice. There you go. I was just going to put that up there.
Boy, chill out. You got all them CRXs and no SPLs.
If you got 10 of them, that's like $200,000 right there, man. Just cash out.
It's $200,000 now. It was $200 back then.
You have 10 fucking CRXs?
He's had
10.
Oh, had 10. I'm like, what?
Well, Casey, you're in California. Everything's too expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, I remember when I landed in Cali, like a month ago now, 2 months ago, my credit score went up. It was crazy. I landed, I got an Experian notification. Credit score increased. I'm like, what the hell? I was like,
I'll attest to this. Like, anytime I've got a demo of Andrew, I mean, he always goes a couple extra clicks, but it's the most violent ear flap I've got. Outside of Clippo's like right there.
Fucking van,
none of
like
them.
made my ears hurt.
Them.
I haven't had any significant ear flaps from.
I haven't got a full
Diego's van.
It's always broke by the time I get over to it.
Diego's van.
At the end of the second day.
Oh, I've seen the videos of Diego's van.
Dude, I'm not getting near it again. Dude, it physically hurt my. It felt like it was pulling my beard out. No, I'm good.
Diego's van's ruthless.
You sat in Joel's that made of steel, didn't you?
Nope.
Oh, you missed out.
But I'm not getting in a vehicle where they got a ratchet strap the door shut. No, sir. No, sir.
You're talking about Joel's the Wolfram.
Well, yeah, it's sundown now.
Whatever it is now.
It's sundown because he's smart.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Wolfram kind of doesn't exist anymore.
He wants windy. You go sundown.
Dude, it was fucking windy with the Wolframs.
I mean, yeah.
Bill,
that doesn't really
matter. Right? That thing was pretty violent.
No, that's Mike.
Yeah, it's the other one that's just like it, but it's
different. Yeah, different guy.
What's his name again?
Joel.
What's his last name?
Sparky Dom.
Joel Sparky. He's always given Greg Greg Corbin shit for having a daily extreme. He's like, it's not a daily because it has a center hump, or it's not a daily because of this, that, or
It's not a daily because you just bolt the door shut.
Yeah, but he's just trolling. I mean, remember last year where Chris Kyle, you know who Chris Kyle is? He had the 621s.
Yeah.
Him and Joel parked right next to each other, and they were both doing like retarded windy demos, and the girl was stood in between, like they were 10 feet apart, and she'd stand in between her, and her hair like couldn't decide which fucking way was hair tricking, dude.
Super windy vehicle that you remember seeing?
Super windy? Probably Darian's fourth order when it was 615s. It was like a 5-to-1 ratio. That's the first windy build I ever heard, and it was only around for like one season.
So I don't remember the dude's name. But he had a white Jeep, 12 DC-12s, and there was a video of him blowing a chick's hair back from 6 feet out the window.
Oh, that's Mike and Kawhi.
And I was like, golly, dude. That was it.
He was doing a 60
mine
plus.
Mine was Thomas Jester's Ford Ranger.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Tim gave me the demo in that thing, and that thing is fucking. I did not even know where my sunglasses went. I couldn't.
They went to another planet. They went to another dimension.
Well, that was totally forgot about that build.
Yeah,
2017 maybe.
2017 Slam. Yeah, that thing was fucking insane. I could not believe it.
Yeah.
Hey, if you want to be windy, all you got to do is put in a very small cabin with small windows.
Like I said, I would look at Shane's Jeep. The blue Jeep. Yeah, you never heard of demo of it.
Blue and black Jeep. It was at the barbecue.
No, never heard of him.
Ray Pinley built it. Yeah, Bruce Rowland, you've heard of it. 318 is one of the lowest 3 sub builds on the planet. Maybe the windiest 3 sub build on the planet. It's gnarly.
Damn it, that's not what I wanted to do. Piece of shit. Can't have nothing nice.
But Clippo, like,
there you go.
I think Clippo 2018-ish to this day is still probably the most violent windy demo I've
Steve, when's the last time the truck looked that good?
A long time, dude.
Just golly, dude.
See that picture right there makes you want to go out there and get it.
Who wants that thing? God, look at. Oh, he does me. I was getting a Starbucks in
it. Yeah, that's one of my all-time favorite builds ever, right there, man. Yeah. That thing, like when Nick was operating it at Slam last year, that shit was a lot of fun, man. We had a really good time.
Dude, I drove the wheels off that thing when I had it.
My friend Rudy that passed away, I got him to get in there, and there's videos of it and stuff. And man, Rudy got out and he was like, "Can you make my truck do that?" And I was like, "Yeah. Are you sure it's gonna?
You better bring your money with you.
It's gonna break it." But
that's Rudy it, bro. That was peak truck right there.
That's what I keep hearing. I keep hearing the blow through was the way.
That was peak
truck. Why? What made the blow through?
Because it was full crew cab, could fit your boys in it, and still did a 60. It would play 17 hertz, like full
It doesn't do 67.
Yeah, but you can drive it.
Fuck those two people in the back.
Bro.
Thick ass.
If I were to just put that thing like 3 inches further back, I could like lean my seat a little better.
Look at just the discontent. Just look at it.
Yes, sir.
Sheesh.
And what's in that black truck?
Oh, I got some Gately subs in there.
That's right.
How long did it take you to get them playing after you got them?
We had the box for fucking like 8 months.
That was like a whole year.
Oh shit.
I mean, to be fair though, I didn't even have the head unit in. I had the head unit for a year also too.
Hold on.
But I'm loving it now, man.
Yes, sir.
Every time people see that, they're like, "Holy shit!" Why does everybody want to put 12s under their seats? Like,
how good would this look with a bunch of blue amps
dude,
in it?
I mean, I have motherfuckers want to like tell me they're like, oh, there is no way that those 6.5s are gonna be louder than these 13.5 JL fucking things, and I'm like, no, they're gonna dominate that shit. And they're like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah. Otherwise, I would build a box and subwoofers that way if I thought that was a good fucking idea.
Well, Chris, so your issue is you're only generating at peak 240 amps of current. I'm assuming you're internally regulated, so let's call that 220 or 200 after heat, minus what the vehicle needs to run. And you have a Cyber 12, which isn't that much reserve, but you have a like 8K amp wired at half.
At half.
Yeah, get one more of those alternators and one more Cyber 12K, and you'd probably be all right.
Yeah, I mean, so like realistically, you have 100 amps for your stereo at most, and your highest amp can pull 40 amps, and then boom, you got 60 left for your amp that's pulling 800.
Yeah, so the answer to your question, Chris, is yes.
Yes,
alternator and another battery.
Boy, see, look, Bobby, how good would it look with 12 blue amps back here?
It would look super duper sexy. Yeah,
just
look at that
buddy,
sweaty belly.
That's the year I almost passed out, dude. I was so hot that year.
Yeah, so 4 rows of 3. So we're gonna control each row.
There's those arrow ports you love so much, Bobby.
I mean, if they're just the right thing, then they're great. If they're not, then they're not great. But I think that thing would be better with a big slot across the back.
Well, I want to. So he took one out. I want to have him put it back in for us to phase align it to see what we can get with it. Because I bet you taking one out just helped with maintaining control of the subs that are super out of phase.
Right, because it might be better. It might be awesome if you have all 4 of them and you have them all phase aligned correctly.
I mean, it's worth trying.
For sure. Everything is worth trying. Dude, I have seen fucked up, stupid looking, weird boxes and been like, the guy's like, what do you think? I'm like, did you listen to it yet? And they're like, no. And I'm like, turn it on. It might be awesome.
It might suck.
Hey, go back to the mural real quick. How did you, or who did?
Kirby made
how'd you do that? How did you do that?
Kirby made that.
So was it just like? Is this?
You don't know? You know who? You know who
Kirby is? Printed on a piece of wood or something? Or
you know who Kirby is, right?
Kirby did the fucking what's that dude with holds the glove with all the gems in it? Yeah, he did the Thanos thing.
Dan did this.
Dan did that.
But like,
this is a wrap. I think
it's a wrap. Okay, so it's printed on vinyl and then wrapped on a piece of wood or some shit.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Just one.
Let's just Hold on, wait. Let's.
Couple strands here.
What else
I did redo a lot of that.
I know you did. Because the person who did this, his current install that people have been sharing pictures of looks just like it.
Well, at least they all have wires going into the channels. You don't just have 8 amps sitting there looking pretty.
Is that all the pictures I have? I think so. Yeah, that's all I got.
I could show you worse shit than that in that van if you really want to see detail.
Hey, how many holes are in the firewall again?
Well, not anymore.
I said, how many holes were in the firewall?
I don't know, man. How many holes can you count when you look at the just tatted in holes?
So this is the distro for the bass amps, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
How big is your C-Max bank?
300.
300. Say. I don't really know shit about the C-Max, man.
I don't know much either.
I know that it got charged at 17 volts once.
I'm pretty excited to see what these SQ cells are gonna do. I haven't seen a lot of people running them, but I know they're stout.
Yes, sir. Alpha subwoofers come 6.5 and an 8, and we have the 12 right now currently.
What model do I have, Bobby?
You have alphas.
Okay.
You have our alpha 6 and 8. These are the higher power handling ones.
Hey, so hold on. Stop. Let's talk about what happened at your shop this week, my guy.
All right.
Yeah, that'd be a good ender.
Bro, what
yesterday, I was pulling up to Steve Mead's shop, and I got a phone call from a potential customer. A young man said he was looking for a DC XL Elite 12, and they just weren't available anywhere. And I told him I don't have that, and I could probably find out about getting some built for him. And he was like, what do you have that I could get, like, in the next couple days? And I said, well, I have our Alpha Series 12, which actually performs in a very similar size box as the DC, and it's a 2,500 watt, 3-inch coil, super badass subwoofer. And he was like, that sounds great. And a friend of mine has one of your boxes and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, cool. And I'm like, where are you located? His phone number said it was from Oakland. And he said, I'm in Sacramento. And I said, oh, shit. Okay, well, you want to come by the shop a little bit later? I'll be there in about an hour. And he said, okay, cool. I'll come by. Well, he had tried calling a couple more times. I missed his calls because I was, working on stuff and away from the phone. And then I was on the phone with John Ravi, and this man and his girl come walking into my office area at the shop. And I said, hey, John, I got a customer walked in. I'll talk to you later. And we jumped off the call. And I had already had an Alpha 12 out on Allison's desk. You're familiar, right? The other side from my desk.
Hey, you walk in the door, it's the first one on the right.
Yep. So right there. And so we're standing there at Allison's desk, and I got the Alpha there, and I'm showing him the sub. We talk about it a bit. And he's like, okay, and how much is this? And I'm like, it's $839. And he's like, okay, I'm going to want to get 2 of these because I have a 5,000 watt Sundown. And he's doing his hands. And I'm like, SFB or something? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then I was like, well, we got a truck right here that has 6 of them in it. If you want to hear it, it's pretty badass, And he's like, okay. And I was like, okay, I'm going to grab Anthony. And I start walking out of the office, and they're walking out behind me. And I like look back and kind of smiled, and I see Anthony's just finished up running parts on the CNC machine. And I walk across the parking lot, and I'm like, hey, Ant, you want to give a demo? And he's like, sure. And he like sets the air blower thing down, and he remote starts his truck. And I turn around, he's walking behind me, and I'm like, where did they go? And I didn't see the people. And we go walking back across and into the office. And I'm like, hey, you guys in here? And I look, and I see the bathroom doors closed. I'm like, are they in the bathroom? I'm like, what the fuck? And I start like kind of walking back towards the bathroom, and I glanced over, and the sub was gone. And I'm all, what the fuck? And I turn around and go outside, and I'm like looking around, and I don't see a car or anything. And I'm all, did they motherfucking run out of here with that sub? And I didn't see him. And then we walked out, and we're standing outside. And then I was like, oh shit, my wallet was on my fucking desk, like right in the middle in front of my fucking keyboard. And I go back in, and I look, and there's my wallet. And then I was like, man, if they were grabbing shit and them both and running out, then what else did they grab? And I look, and the Post Malone subs, there's only 6 of them on the fucking planet. And they were all still there. So I was like, okay. And then I walked across the parking lot. I tried calling the guy's number. He didn't answer. I tried to call from another phone, didn't answer. And then I was like, this motherfucker stole my shit. And then, I did the live feed right away, was like, this motherfucker did this shit. I got caught slipping. And yesterday, man, I woke up at fucking 3 a.m. and drove Allison over to the airport, and then just went straight to the shop. So I was at the shop at fucking 4:15 in the morning or some shit. And it was a long day, and it was early afternoon. I was tired and just not being as careful with my business as I should have been. And dude got me for a sub. But we, you see, we got the video footage, we got this license plate with all that shit. I need to take a minute and file a report. Today I was like tired and stressed out and like working. And then I was like, all right, I should file this report. And then I was like, my buddy just got back to training jujitsu after being out for a year because he had knee surgery and shit. And he's like, come to class. And I was like, I can sit here and file this police report, or I can go train jujitsu. I was like, I'm gonna go do that shit. So then I got back to the shop and I had a ton of shit to get done before coming home to get ready for the show. And so I still haven't done the police report yet, but they aren't going to do shit. But I mean, I know I should do it anyway.
And after you posted his number on Facebook, I'm sure he got bombarded, but did you hear anything or
no? I mean,
not from him.
They canceled. Like the number was turned off an hour later because he probably had fucking 2,000 calls. I know. I'm sure Casey did some wild shit. I know.
Dude, Casey is.
Talk to him,
bro.
What did he say when you started talking to him, Casey?
Dude, Casey's the last person I want to anger. That dude,
he's wild. I fucking love that dude.
I don't know how he gets the info he does on people, but like, I've seen people who are just going in on somebody, and then Casey gets in on them. I'm like, and within 10 minutes, whole Facebooks are deleted. Like I'm pretty sure he's ended relationships by discovering someone cheating. And like,
you done fucked up.
Dude, that dude's wild. I'm telling you, this dude's crazy. I love him. He's awesome though.
Man, that's fucking crazy. Well, karma's a bitch. He'll get his. Like you were saying on the live, it's not worth like going after him or
Yeah, I mean, the fuck could I do?
I mean, completely. You find him, then you beat the shit out of him, and you go to jail.
Right. Exactly.
Or you get stabbed, or fucking
shot, or run over by a car.
No. California's a gun-free zone. No guns. No guns.
Oh, there's still guns. Just
no guns.
Yeah, just not the people.
No guns.
Yeah.
Casey dug that shit up faster than a Puerto Rican female. Oh, dude. So speaking of, I'm gonna be tuning her truck at before the showdown, like that Friday.
Awesome.
Rondas.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Yeah, and hopefully my shit will be playing before SEMA starts because that week's gonna be crazy. I have like 2 possible days I think left to finish it, of actual days I'm not working or have SEMA. So
I haven't decided when I'm coming in yet. I have a couple of people who were talking about getting tunes done before the show, but I'm like, like Jeff was talking about having me tune the boat.
Bobby, you could. I'll just pull all you guys over to my house and make you guys all
make us explore. Come on, hey guys, we're gonna do a little barbecue at the house. Here's a hot dog and a soldering iron, and you get a hot dog and some wire cutters, and
get to work.
Yeah.
And then you get a door lock behind us.
I don't have the new subs. I just have the S's.
Okay.
So 2.5.
Oh, all load subs. Fucking easy peasy.
I've been getting some pictures today and yesterday.
I think I'll have it done.
Of a build with those new subs.
Yeah. I don't even know if it's going to be at SEMA now. Is it going to make it or not? Do you know?
I'm going there Friday.
Okay, because I know
because it has to leave in 6 days.
Okay, but is it going to be playing? I think
I'm going there. I mean, I'm not going there to look at it.
Okay,
I'm going there to turn that thing up.
Well, while you're there, try to convince them to bring it to the showdown on the weekend. Just don't be gay.
Don't be gay. How am I going to convince them if I can't be gay?
Well, not you, them.
It's like, how do you want me to go? What do you want me to do here? Money? That's not going to work. It's like trying to buy Steven. That's just not going to work. You got to fiddle his diddle. You know what I mean?
Fiddle that.
Or you know what? Even if we could just get them to bring it and park it by us during Ignited, once it's out of the building, and maybe actually get some real demos of it. See what the hell those things sound like. I know the Doors look awesome, dude. I can't wait to hear the Doors. I don't know how many people noticed them.
What is this? Series of several questions from Jin and Gio. Oh,
this one?
Yeah. After a big 3 upgrade, high amperage alternators, what do you guys recommend for an 8K system? AGM's lithium, Yinlong's battery banks, and how much capacity?
Let's hold up now.
How many alternators and what are their amperage? And what 8K are we talking about?
Let's run this back a little bit. Yinlongs are lithiums, and anything that is more than one battery is a battery bank, I guess.
Yeah.
But if you don't know, like, so if this is your base level of questioning, you need to go with something incredibly safe. AGM or Yinlong. Pre-built, specifically.
Yeah.
So, like...
No DIY. I don't recommend the DIY lithiums to anybody that isn't, like, actively DIY lithiuming.
Yeah, like, if your first question is, what chemistry? No, stop. Nope. Don't build it. Yeah, dude, I would grab... Like Bobby said, depends on the amp and the alternators, but even like the CES 80s or the Limitless, was it the G50?
I grab a couple of those B stocks Ioxys ones that are on sale.
Oh
right now.
yeah, those are a pretty good deal.
Because those will hold like 10K with us.
The B stock Ioxys batteries that who has them?
A couple people have them. I think Apex has them. Yeah, no. Showtime.
Okay, you don't need a battery. You need a single battery because as soon as your alternators get going, you'll be good.
What 8K are we talking here? Are we talking about like a fucking Tera Amps MD 8K?
Or are we talking about like a JP83 at quarter ohm?
Yeah.
Or a Salt 8 at quarter.
A Salt 8 that's like 13K.
It's a Bosch 80K.
Yeah.
It's 10 inches.
I really need to do the video showing the output difference between internally regulated and externally regulated.
Alternators?
Yeah.
Huh. Was the external way higher or what?
It's a lot more. I had someone try to tell me the other day that external regulated alternators are cooler. Like they run cooler. I'm like, so it makes more power but runs cooler. Math. Science.
Super efficient.
I want to build
I've never melted the solder out of internally regulated alternators.
I just don't speak on it. I
mean, I'm at the point now where if I don't know something, I'll just say it. Like the balanced RCA stuff. You know, I know the basic, but I don't know enough to give a confident answer. I'll just say it. I don't know enough. But to tell me that an externally regulated alternator that's making more current runs cooler, stop it. There's a reason it shortens the lifespan of the alternator. I have literally melted the solder out of an alternator at Slamology. 400 plus degrees, solder dripping out of it because I melted, because I got that hot.
Yeah.
Is it still working?
We fixed it that night at the campground, but that is conveniently the one that is currently broken. Unrelated, I'm sure.
2 crescendo, 3,000.2s, and 1. You're all right. Just a couple of AGMs, you'd probably be fine.
Yeah, I mean, if you're
the other thing to go with that is ground the shit out of everything and make sure all your connections are good and plenty of wire and make sure all your connections are good.
I've seen that argument a lot lately. People don't need to ground back to the front for lithium banks.
No.
If your alternator's up front, you probably should do that.
Yeah.
If your alternator's in the back, then yeah, I guess you don't need to.
Yeah, one of those muffler alts.
Yep. Yeah. People are like, oh, the frame will do it. I mean, the frame might work, but that's not how a DC charging. That's how DC electrical works.
Yep. It's a big circle, people. You can't have half the circle really fat and the other half super thin. I think you're good.
What?
You're a really fat circle.
I'm saying like a circuit. Fucking, you got a big circuit, bro.
I was told to quit yelling.
Yeah.
So,
boys.
Or something.
Yeah. Big ass builds, build them strong as fuck. Put together a good playlist. Run your fucking ground wires just like you run your power. Run your ground wires just like you run your fucking power, and ground the shit out of everything everywhere always.
Yeah. And turn it up. Don't be afraid to break shit.
Yes.
Yeah, and just count on fucking blowing shit up.
Don't gain match all the way up. That's dumb.
That's not the way to gain match.
If you're gonna gain match that way, just gain match all the way down and use a badass DSP to run, just shove voltage into the amps.
Yeah, use like a line driver, a audio control matrix, and
something like that.
17 volts going in.
Exactly. That could just be turned all the way down then.
Yeah.
Or just run kicker amps.
Yeah, exactly. Use kicker amps as your line driver.
Just fucking just run the 2400.
That's what we did. On an SQ build that came in. So he was having like a sub issue. It was really weird. But so the way it was wired, he didn't have DSP through the bass amp because it was using Kicker IQ amps with the built-in DSP. But the bass amp he was using was a Kicker amp that could take 40 volts of input to the RCAs. So all I did was I ran RCAs for the sub to the 5-channel IQ amp, and it ran the sub-channel output that has DSP into the input of the amp that didn't have DSP, and just left it really turned down.
That's how the last version of Explorer was. IQ amp ran. I had basically the speaker outs going to big distribution blocks and
into
RCAs. All my RCAs from that. Yeah, and I was running like 16.
You literally use amplifiers as line drivers. That's fucking awesome.
Yep. That's how the Cube was too.
Yep. And then you use the DSP and the IQ to set what was coming out of the speaker channels, and then that was all of
then that was the RCA going into other amps. That was
exactly what we did. Did Cube ever have any phase alignment done on it?
I don't think we had to because the tolerances on those Kicker amps are so tight. It's like a 1% to 2% difference. But
you would have had an acoustical phase alignment back to front because of the depth, but
they didn't have any.
I don't think it mattered.
We didn't have that. We didn't have that software and shit back then.
Yeah,
I don't think they did anything.
Still one of the most painful demos I ever got.
I never got to really hear it.
It was 39 or 13 hertz.
Yeah, I love the 50s
magic numbers.
Shit.
What got me was
when it would do 13 hertz, it would float that thick ass like 90-pound rubber floor mat like it was a fucking flying carpet 2.5 feet off the floor.
I had like 6 or 8 people in front of me and I couldn't get out. That's where I freaked out in there.
It's just brutal. It definitely was shocking is the feeling I always got. Like lightning bolt. Right?
Yeah, like electrical fucking that shit broke a kidney stone free in me. And I pissed that thing out a couple days later.
Well, I was right in the passenger kick panel, right against the dash. And like I said, 6 people in front of me, between me and the door, and I couldn't get out. And that shit hurt, man.
Yeah.
That shit hurt.
Yeah. I honestly, I don't think I ever heard it turned all the way up. It never really went all the way up.
Muted. Ground to the front.
I sat in that thing for an hour and a half. They had 2 trucks running next to it, trying to get it to charge. They had like 8 jumper. I swear to God, there was like 7 or 8 sets of jumper cables.
Gotta stop that,
2
bro.
trucks, and they were fucking trying, and they were like waiting, and they're like watching the voltage come up, and Travis is like, "All right, here you go," and I'm like, "Oh shit," sitting in there all, and it was. All that buildup probably made me more scared of it. And I wouldn't sit all the way down in the little kick like Jessica Nauman did. And but like we climbed out of there and I like asked her like 20 times, "You all right?" She's like, "I'm okay." I'm like, "You don't really look all right. You look kind of concussed a little bit, like ooh."
No, Rhonda, ground to the front and the frame.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care,
I don't care about your old ass
that has less resistance.
I mean, we don't have steel fucking wires in our that. Nobody makes steel wire because it wouldn't work as good as our copper wire. Like wire.
Oh, here we go. I found it. So, EXO did a video. He was videoing while you were getting your demo, Steve. Let me see. I found it.
Oh god.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people in front of you. You're definitely stuck in the corner.
Yeah, that should hurt, man. That should fucking hurt. I was trying my best, man. Fuck that.
You were afraid you were gonna die. You're holding on to your heart and shit. Like,
man, every single time the bass hit, my eyes were getting whiplashed with the ends of my hair.
Yeah, I told you I wasn't lying.
Yeah.
It's like somebody's fucking spit a lightning rod right in the middle of your chest.
100%. Hopefully it comes sees the light of day again. But so expensive to move that thing around.
Yeah, I think it's a little unreasonable. I think the thought of how much it was going to weigh wasn't considered appropriately.
I mean, that's it's too big, too much.
What did that thing weigh?
Well, it's all like MDF, I think. Right?
It's all 13,000 pounds. It was either 13 or 18. I think it was 13.
I think it was 18.
It actually could have been 18. I think Carlos's van is 13. I think the cube was 18.
The fucking Raiden is like probably 11 or 12,000 pounds. It's a 9,500 pound truck before all the beat went in it.
Ain't no way it weighs that much without something in it.
Yeah.
I think my van
with those big ass tires and all that suspension and shit.
Oh, go weigh it. Go weigh it.
Yeah, I'll weigh the
I love stunt walls as long as they're tuned correctly.
I'm gonna weigh Price's Tahoe whenever I pass some truck stop with a weigh station. I'm gonna weigh the whole rig, and I know what my stuff weighs, so we'll have an answer.
You'll get a cool appreciation for stunt walls that when we went to Made of Steel.
Dude, there was actually some pretty good sounding stuff.
That was fucking sick, man.
Yeah, a really good stunt wall
for fucking John's truck.
Bring a crowd. That's what I was curious about because I know you said it's going to be SEMA. So is he just going to play those off at Ignited? Is that kind of the plan? Because he's not going to be able to run that shit in the building. That's for sure.
The problem I have with stunt walls is the ones that just sound like ass and are loud, and then they just play them all day, aimed at you. Like, bro, I'm going to cut your speakers. You need to turn that shit around. That's one reason why I wanted to be by Kicker for Slamology this year, because I knew Kicker wouldn't let that shit fly.
Those people I hate for sure. If your shit sounds like shit, don't turn it up, please.
But they don't
you
know
have to know it sounds like shit. They have to know.
They don't know. They don't know. That's like the same. We had this conversation about people who can do whole big wall builds, 615s, 312Ks, and can't hear that two subs are out of phase. That people just can't hear it.
Yes, yeah. You trying to show us something, Bobby?
Yeah, I just sent you guys the stunt wall fucking structure pictures. You guys seen that shit for John's truck?
I'll put it up.
It's like 96 fucking speakers.
So is this going in the bed?
Oh wow!
Yeah,
I saw that.
It's 3 pieces, and it'll stand up on actuators and then open up like that. That's 59 inches tall and 8 feet wide.
I changed screens. I can zoom in more.
Okay. All sky highs, mids and highs, or what are they putting there?
all their new products. New sky high products.
Good shit. All right, well, boys and girls, if you want to see this, make your way to Vegas, November 1st.
Yeah. Is SEMA doing that like open to the public thing again on the Friday and all that shit again?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to come to, actually, all the outdoor at SEMA is open to the public. It's just the inside you can't get into.
Right. So we're going to be out there all week. Hopefully, we're going to be playing. Right? Are they still telling us we're going to get to play?
Yeah. I mean, he asked me if my plan was to have us do demos throughout the day, and I was like, yes. What the fuck do you think we're coming
throughout the day? Like every time there's a person standing next to the vehicle that wants to get in it, we're gonna demo.
I think we'll be better off doing scheduled demos, but dude, you know how unresponsive it's been this year. I keep getting we're good to go, but here's details. I'm like,
0.
Cool.
You're there. Invite your friends.
Yeah, but
Jim that owns the Raiden, he's flying out with his whole family and the whole fucking thing. And hopefully we're not like in a fucking alleyway in the back somewhere and we're not allowed to play the fucking thing. I'll be like, sorry, bro.
Vasily is not going to be in it now.
No.
And the reasoning is because his car is now going to be in Hoonigan's booth. Hoonigan bought the entire front of the convention center now this year. So that
I've been seeing on their videos. They're doing a whole
He's gonna get to play all fucking day.
But he's not bringing
he's bringing his drift
wagon,
Porsche.
he's bringing the Cayenne.
Yeah, is it all-wheel drive LS swap turbo?
All-wheel drive LS swap turbo.
Dude, Vasily has some like badass cars.
Yeah,
like the one he brought to SEMA last year is like 5th coolest.
So I'm hoping there's a chance we're going to be next to them. I told Vasily, like, you might have better chance of communication than I am with my SEMA people right now. So ask Hoonigan if they fucking want us next to them. And who knows? Maybe they'll just tell SEMA, hey, put these car audio guys right by us, and then we'll have.
Yeah, right. Fucking.
I mean, it's wild, extreme shit. It makes sense.
That's where we want to be. Like, the cars are going to be making a shit ton of noise, so there's no reason why we can't make a shit ton of noise. I mean, you guys saw how it was last year. Within fucking 2 minutes of playing, there's 1,000 people like swarming. And 5-10 minutes into it, we couldn't even walk down that alleyway.
Yep, and then the one time that you just happened to time it right after one of the Hoonigan things ended, John turned the van on, and the entire crowd came down the alleyway.
Dude, it was.
People love it.
There was a couple times when he turned on the shit show, and it got fucking wild down there. I was like, holy shit. I was in there doing a couple demos in the bloodbath, and I like stepped out for a quick fucking second to like check the power supply because I wasn't running the engine. And I just like check it out, and I look around, and I'm like, dude, there are hundreds of people over here right now. This is crazy. We had all the little chicks lining up, getting hair tricks, and
I had people messaging me. I think it must have been Friday, because the day we were allowed to like really play it, that we were flexing the toilet in the center hall across the interstate.
Flexing the toilet.
As far as I could research.
Remember that the one guy comes jogging up, and he was all sweaty, and he's like, dude, I'm a bass head, and I'm not in that building, the one that was across the whole ass big road. I'm not in that building. I was in the building
West
on the
Hall.
other side of it, and I fucking heard bass, and I went running, and I'm asking, and they're all, no, it's coming from over there. It's coming, and I just kept coming, and it just kept getting louder, and I've been running for like 15 minutes. He was all sweaty, and he's all excited, and he's like, I'm on my break. I'm late already, but like, can I hear one of these things? Like, here you go real quick, dude.
So
and he's like, thanks, high five.
As far as I could find, Steven's van was the loudest thing to ever be at SEMA, period.
Oh, yeah.
I think so, for sure.
That and John's fucking shit show stunt wall.
And he wasn't in there.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll be there this year.
Maybe next year.
Could have
been. Well, my Explorer will be there next year for sure. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I mean once your Explorer's there,
I'll miss another year for sure.
Hopefully next year we get the Nitro into because it's gonna it'll probably be all kicker by then. So maybe put that in the kicker booth. That'd be kind of cool.
Well, what me and Bobby were actually talking about, I guess, before we split out of here is eventually if we could get it to just be the car audio section and just have all these big car audio companies buy booth space in this area.
I mean, it'd be great to do that, since so many people are leaving CES.
Yeah, and just have a big demo mobile audio section that takes up the
entire West Hall, instead of being like off-road stuff and then like car audio in the top, just all car audio.
Yeah, but all outside so that they can all play. No inside.
No. We need inside section, bro. It's hot. It's hot out there.
Well, a little bit, but I mean, we want to hear these cars. At least I do. It's November, dude. It's perfect outside. It's not hot. It's like 75 degrees.
Yeah, fucking SEMA's like beautiful weather usually.
Yeah, I feel like it's hot. I feel like it's gonna be hot.
Oh, okay.
No, it's not gonna
maybe
be
because I'm fat.
Yeah, you're definitely fat.
And how much
food we eat?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, last year it was fucking beautiful outside.
Well, hopefully next year my Tahoe is pretty enough with all the Gately audio stuff in it that it gets invited. Maybe 1 year.
And who knows what you're going to be working on next year at this time, Bobby? So have something new. Maybe
I'll probably have Green Monster fucking built, and it'll be all stacked with all Gately audio subs and amps and speakers and everything by then.
I hope I'm not working on shit this time next year. Hopefully I'm done and I could just be like, all right, who wants what where?
Maybe I should just do it with with like 128s or some shit. Just
306 and a halves.
Yeah. Duncan looked like he had a hard day on the Bobcat. Duncan didn't leave the driver's seat of that truck, bro. I'm telling you, you got that boss ass.
Yeah, I didn't do much today.
Oh shit! I had a hella long day. Friday, yeah, definitely. I mean, Friday's going to be such a long day because
Friday is going to be a fucking shit show. That's work. That's like sleep well on Thursday night, show up and be like, "Oh, would you like a demo in our fucking trucks over here?" And oh my god, like
I'm not gonna.
and then I mean the after party is insane too. So
yes, you do,
Ron. So obviously, I'll get with you, before then. But I'll probably just have you come to the Down for Sound warehouse, and I'll tune it there because you got space.
What are you doing on Friday? Of SEMA, Drew
tuning her truck.
That's what about the afternoon, evening? Like
that's all I got planned so far.
Well,
you're gonna come to Ignited
and help us at SEMA Ignited. Come, I mean, shit. It's gonna be me, Allison, and Brett operating 2 vehicles.
I'll come demo the raid, and I'll bring my playlist.
I can help you too. I won't have a car there, so
I'm ready.
You'll be all busy dealing with all the hubbub, Steve.
Yeah, not at Ignited. I could relax during that. I'm hoping to have very little responsibility, even though I know it's shit that I have to run, but I'm not going to try to micromanage shit this year. It's just let her go.
That was one thing I was kind of looking forward to this weekend. Was
Jose's like, y'all still on here?
I know, right?
We were talking about you the whole time, Jose. We were at we're
talking about how you do a 160 with both doors open, but 400-pound dudes in each door blocking it.
Yeah,
there's a conversation from yesterday.
There's 400-pound dudes.
No,
that's fucking epic.
No, I was
how much different is it? I'd love to know the difference of having.
I mean, 2 400-pound dudes in each door is way more mass than the door itself is.
I mean, I want to know. Yeah, it's in the rules.
I didn't say it's a problem, and I didn't say it wasn't cool, but that's not both doors open. Open both doors and leave them wide open. Didn't do it.
You're so negative.
I'm not negative. The post was about
400-pound dudes.
The post was about.
That's racist.
I mean, I was almost a 400-pound dude at once, so no, it's not. I can say that.
Still a 400-pound dude.
No, I'm like 280 right now.
Same smell.
Yep. Super sexy.
Yeah.
And I was looking forward to this weekend going to the show and not having a responsibility. Like, it's the best. But nope. Got to go to Stillwater, which apparently it's their Oklahoma State's homecoming game too. So.
Oh shit! It's gonna be packed house there.
After rebuild, I'm running both doors open, no blockers. That's cool. I don't care.
What are you doing on the rebuild, Jose? Let's give him a second to fucking answer because I'm curious. But Jose's shit's fucking nasty, man. That thing had a busted ass windshield and doors open.
Someone made a post that who can do a 60 with both doors open, and everyone started talking about base battles or not base battles, base race, I guess. Yeah, where you can not base race,
base boxing.
Where you can block the doors. I was like, that's not quite what he was asking. You know what he was asking, bro. Come on. You know what he was asking.
Same shit, just better shell.
Oh, you're gonna build like a cage or something? That's dope. Right on.
Nice.
All right, gentlemen.
Yes, let's cut it.
Going the fuck to bed. You guys be good. Steve, thanks for being on the show. We appreciate you. We look forward to seeing you.
Thanks for having me.
We'll talk real soon about building shit. Drew, Steve, all of you guys, send me some money. All of it. Send me all your money.
I sent you money yesterday. Did you already ship it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Send me that
argument.
Send me that the lugs, though. We didn't have all of them, and we didn't get them in the box in time. So
no lugs or a couple.
Go get the lugs from no lugs. Get them from JP, your boy.
Yeah. Okay.
I've seen broken windshields gain on vehicles, so that really doesn't mean a whole lot.
No, you haven't.
Yes. SPL vehicles, lots of them gain with broken windshield.
All right, boys. Have a nice night.
We'll see you guys.
We're just gonna keep talking if we don't stop. So.
Yeah, we'll keep talking. We gotta go.
We'll see you next week.
I'm not leaving. I'm staying.
You guys can stay. I'm out.
Later,
guys.
I'm staying.